lean, think you saved the head, so spinning. She love 3-5, so nice, I'm grinning. The bitch so fine, oh my ridiculous. Vaseline for the paper chase. Music scene is my saving grace, so spinning. I lost my mind, I'm fine, I'm living. You touch my bro, spill wine, you're tripping.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. We're back for another live stream. Back for another video. Same channel, same content. You guys already know. Big up everyone that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button. Plenty to get into in this stream. There's Koulibaly. There's Ronaldo, Nabry, Colwill. Fucking helicopters. I don't even know why. Kimpembe. So much news to get into. There'll probably be more that comes out during the stream as well. Let me know your thoughts on any of the news surrounding Chelsea down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and everything like that. We already have 100 of you guys locked in here, so let's try and get to 100 likes. We're aiming for 500 in this stream. So guys, run it up if you guys haven't done so already. Big up Alan. Big up Poku Doku, Go AM, James, Football Style, Owen, Super Tommy Tuchel, Stuart Goddard. We got a new member as well. David Bushnell, big up yourself, my guy. Welcome to the membership scheme. I do need to actually add some little perks for the members as well. But big up everyone that signed up, that's supporting the channel. It is much appreciated for every single one of you guys. And yeah, there's plenty of content to get into on this stream. Where's the banner? I completely forgot that. You guys need to bear with me. Like, this Twitter crash that happened an hour ago nearly fucked up my entire stream because all my content's in my bookmarks. But we're back at least. But just bear with me if I'm a little bit slow. As you guys already know, we'll be throwing the link out to the panel at 3 p.m. But until then, just drop you guys questions, drop you guys thoughts and everything like that. Go AM, you did get your wish at the very least. Tuchel is not interested in Ronaldo, just like you. So fair enough on that one. Like I've already said, it is a little bit of a kick in the teeth. I did need my goal scorer, but if Tuchel don't want him, then it is what it is. I can just leave it there and I can move on in peace. He does want Lewandowski though, so there is still hope of getting a goal scorer. But as you guys have already seen, on the Ronaldo front, I'm going to see if I can find a tweet to pull up, unless the bookmarks disappeared again. Here we go. One sec. Right, we'll just go through this Ronaldo thing very quickly because there's not really much to add on this. But Thomas Tuchel has decided against Ronaldo's signing as things stand. Jorge Mendes has talks with Todd Bowley, but the final decision has always been up to the manager. Chelsea are now focused on different deals. Tuchel isn't keen on signing Ronaldo, and that's fair enough. Like, I already understand, other than goal scoring, there isn't really a lot that Ronaldo brings to the game, and he does make the team all about himself, so I do understand the cons behind it. I always said this wasn't going to be a 100% perfect signing for Chelsea if we went for him. Like, he would improve the goal scoring, he would be a focal point that we could try and work towards creating chances for, but that would just be about it. But for me, all I wanted was a goal scorer. If Tuchel doesn't want him, fair enough. I understand. It's a short-term fix, only going to be about for a year or two. So it is what it is on that front. I'm fine with it. Let me know you guys' thoughts as well in the comment section, whether you agree or disagree. But like we already said, whatever Thomas Tuchel wants is whatever we stand by. Tuchel don't want Ronaldo, move on. Move on. We don't need to cry about it or anything like that. I said Tommy T absolutely bodied Pendu. Everyone has, to be honest. Like, the guy's put himself out there for everybody on the market, and it was only Napoli still in there, if we're being honest. Bayern have said they're not interested. PSG said they ain't interested. Chelsea have now said that they're not interested. It's looking peak for CR7. You're going to be playing on Thursday nights, my guy, but it is what it is. If we end up getting Lewandowski in the window instead, I don't care. I've already said it would make more sense for us to wait out this Lewandowski deal and see if he ends up having to push for other suitors because Barcelona are broke. I think that's going to be our next move. But yeah, that is all that on the Cristiano Ronaldo panel. What are you guys saying in the comment section? Shahab says, do you think we'll get Kimpembe and Ake both or only one? We're going to get both. Tuchel's already said he wants 3 centre-backs. Kimpembe is now in talks with Chelsea, and he looks to be leaning to Chelsea more over Juventus. Nathan Ake, we already know, Personal terms are agreed. Fees been agreed. The only thing that's left to wait on is for Manchester City to find a replacement, and for Chelsea to discuss the instalment plan in terms of how much they're going to pay Man City and how much they're going to pay per year. So Ake is basically done, but we just need to be a bit patient on that front. Kimpembe looks likely, but it's only likely right now. I think there's still terms that need to be agreed. There's still a fee that needs to be agreed. They're just in talks right now, but Ake looks very close to completion. Let me know you guys' thoughts on Kimpembe as well, because I do hear varying thoughts on Kimpembe coming to Chelsea. People are saying he's very error prone, and I understand that, but I also think as well playing in a back three does well to minimize those errors as well. We've seen how good the formation was for the likes of AC and Rudiger, even though I'm not saying they're just back three merchants. The pair of them can play in a back four as well. But you would play better in a back three as opposed to a back four if you're a centre-back, and that will get the best out of Kimpembe. Also, Kimpembe's passing is utterly ridiculous. Same thing as Thiago Silva, same thing with Koulibaly. Our build-up play is going to absolutely cook in the defensive phase. Between them three, between potentially Jorginho in the pivot as well, possession is going to be brilliant, and we should be able to be a lot more direct in our passing as well. So we won't lose that from what we had with Rudiger and AC. In terms of like defensive, like Koulibaly speaks for itself, absolute baller. Kimpembe, again, we did say error prone, but Tuchel's managed to make AC look world class. He's managed to make Rudiger look world class. He's got the absolute best out of the pair of them. Who's to say he can't do the same thing with Kimpembe as well? And also, you've got to keep remembering, it's a Tuchel signing. Tuchel has handpicked Kimpembe and said that he wants him. That isn't enough for you guys to be on board. Then are we really trusting in Tuchel? I don't know. But I'm all for Kimpembe joining. 100%. Let's see what you guys are saying. Defense is going to cook. You're damn right. AC was a little bit error prone. But that was more confidence based. I don't know what it was. When he was in good form, like nothing could phase him. When he was in bad form, always seemed to dip. But is what it is. Is what it is. Do I think we have a chance to get in Leao? No. No, I don't think we do. He's got a 150 million release clause, I think. And AC Milan are just not going to sell him right now. They've just won Serie A. He's got more than a year left on his contract, so they're not really in a rush to sell him. I don't expect them to sell him. Guys, we have 250 plus of you guys in here. But we only have 89 likes. And that ain't good enough. So guys, run it up, people, please. What else are we seeing? Thomas Rosa Parks shouting no to CR7. Can't be us. I get it though. Like, I only wanted Ronaldo because he was a goal scorer, not because he was brilliant all round. I already know, like, he's very limited in that regard. But if you make chances for him, he'll score those chances. Tuchel doesn't want the team to be centered around him though. He wants the team to focus on building an actual squad as opposed to relying on one individual. So it is what it is. Is what it is. I said back the manager, but if it's Rice, a different story. Has Tuchel gone to speak to Rice? Seeing as he's looking for all of his targets, why hasn't he gone to East London? Why East London isn't long. One central line trip and you're in Stratford. Well, why hasn't he gone to Stratford, bro? Could it be that maybe Rice isn't his number one target? Could it be that maybe it's a board target? Or maybe it's just all you Rice rimmers who are begging for him to join our club? Maybe it's just all you guys trying to talk it into existence. If Tuchel wanted Rice, we would be in talks for Declan Rice. Why are we not in talks for Rice? Maybe he doesn't want it. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe you guys need to move on a little bit. It is what it is. Hey, we won a Champions League with Jorginho. I can't hear that. Let's see what you guys are saying. I need to... It was bait a frank target. And even then, some of the board didn't want him at that time because they thought it would be embarrassing spending that much money on a Cobham reject. So, like, why would they? If we were in for Rice, we would be in talks for Rice right now. Look how quickly the club is moving right now on all of their targets. But somehow no one's rung Basmati's phone. Why is that? Why is that? It's very confusing to me. I was told he was our number one target. I was told he was guaranteed to be coming to Chelsea. I was told we would do anything within our necessary regions to bring him to the club. Why are we not doing it? It doesn't make sense to me. It's very confusing. Very confusing. But we move. We move. You lot can hold that. Yes, Matt. Damn right. Declan Rice is staying at West Ham. You won't hear any positivity from me on that signing unless it's a cheap deal. Or unless he actually joins Chelsea. If he joins Chelsea, then I'm going to have to back it. But until then, you lot can hold that. And he's West Ham captain. I ain't got any good words to say about him. Then all you Rice rimmers can hold that. Football Star says, Lewis, it looks likely we will get Gnabry. Nope. Gnabry's using us for a contract, in my opinion. And that's what it looks like from what Fabrizio said. Let me try and find what he said. Where was it? Here we go. Despite the Chelsea approach this week, Gnabry is still giving priority to Bayern's new contract proposal. He is attracted by the last contract bid and talks are progressing. Chelsea are really interested, but for now, Gnabry is discussing with the FC Bayern board. So to me, from the looks of it, he's just using Chelsea to get an extra contract and to get more money from Bayern Munich, which, I mean, is fair enough from his perspective, but we should just move on from this as soon as possible, unless Gnabry actually says or makes a hint that he wants to join Chelsea. For me, I think it's a bit of a pipe dream, and I think he's got his aim focused on staying at Bayern Munich. Leave it. It is what it is. So for me, I think Gnabry is very unlikely, but I'm not too fussed about it. Just don't waste time on this one because he's clearly looking for a new contract. Yeah, it was. Kimpembe gave Ole a career. And if that don't make him proper Chelsea, I don't know what is. Yeah, he can hold that. And it's also because of the obsession from half of this fan base. You lot need to fuck off to West Ham with him. You lot are going to keep milking this deal. Stop acting like Rice is coming to Chelsea when we have never made talks from him. Actually, no, tell a lie. I think there was minor talks, but then they said they were just rejecting everything and they were keeping him. So again, we're not moving for him. If we really wanted him, we would pay West Ham's valuation. But West Ham's valuation is a load of bullshit. So we're not going in for him. Just leave it. Like, we got to stop overdoing this. Yeah, guys, get up to 200 likes. Have we even hit 100? Yeah, we have. All right, cool. Run it up to 200 people. If Tuchel plans to have Havertz as the number 9, yes, back the manager. I've already said I would give Havertz next season to hopefully prove me wrong and show some consistency. You're acting like I've already cut him off as washed. I already know he's going to be playing next season. I think he's been very underwhelming over the last 2 seasons. But he's going to have another season, and I'm going to back it. But I've already said next season is make or break for me. If I see more inconsistencies, I wash my hands. And personally, I think Tuchel will look for other options too if he has another inconsistent season. Of course, he's going to have another season. And yes, back the manager. It's not back the manager until he gets players I don't want. Like, I literally said, I want Ronaldo, and he doesn't want Ronaldo. Now I'm fine with us not getting Ronaldo. Because the manager's looked at it and he said, no, I don't want him. It's done. Move on. Same thing with Havertz. Give him another season. Let's see if he cooks. I do really hope he cooks. But no, nothing. Todd, you're joking with me. Look, no updates on Rice to Chelsea, my guy. It's not happening. It's not happening. I appreciate the super chat. So, of course, I ain't going to be disrespectful or nothing. But no, Rice is not coming to Chelsea this summer. Maybe next summer. If it's cheaper, like I said, I won't really care as much. My biggest gripe with Declan Rice to Chelsea is that he's 150 million and people are still saying pay it. It's stupid. That's my gripe with it. If he was like 50, 60 mil, well, I wouldn't really have too much to say. Yes, he does have to adapt to a possession-based system, but he's young and would be able to do that. But for 150 million, I'm not waiting. I want something immediate. So anyone who thinks Rice should be coming at that price tag, you're waffling. If you think the club would do it, and if you think it's a smart decision, you halve that. Let's have a conversation, potentially. That's why it's not even a gender. Like, to me, it's all about the money. Yeah, I thought it was. Who am I arguing with? I don't even know. I just get vexed when it comes to certain topics. But It is what it is. We've got 400 of you lot in here. Run the likes up. Let's go into this Levi Colwill situation because I've heard varying rumours about this. Fabrizio said he's likely to leave with Koulibaly, Kimpembe and Nathan Ake coming in. From Simon Phillips, though, I'm hearing he doesn't want to leave. He's not demanding to be an instant starter, but he wants a fair shot and assurances at game time. His situation is dependent on centre-back arrivals, and a buyback would be inserted if he was sold, but Chelsea know his quality and they do want to keep him. Now, for me, a big up Frosted Myth as well. My guy, every time. I appreciate the donation. Now, for me, on this Colwill situation, we can't say much until pre-season is done because he is going to be given opportunities there to show himself. And if he has a good run, he might be able to stay. Like, we know Tuchel's main plan for a back three is Kimpembe, Silva, and Koulibaly. And from that, I think Trevor Chalobah and Nathan Ake are going to be our depth, as well as one of Levi Colwill or Malang Sarr. Now, for me, Malang Sarr stays only if we can't get rid of him. And if we can get rid of him, then for me, it has to be Levi Colwill. But I understand Levi Colwill wanting to go out and get more game time too. I just don't think we should be selling him. I think I've already said numerous times, I think a loan to a Premier League club would be the best move for him because he learns practically. He learns on the pitch. He learns from being put in situations on a game-by-game basis as opposed to sitting on a bench and watching the likes of Thiago Silva and Koulibaly, which, yes, there is a lot to learn from in that regard, but in my opinion, like the best way for you to learn is for you to learn practically, learn on the pitch. And I think that sort of game time in the Premier League as well, where he can showcase his talents in the Premier League to everybody, I think that's invaluable personally. Koulibaly will still be here next season. Thiago Silva, maybe, maybe not. But Tuchel is also going to be a big reason as to why he grows and develops at Chelsea, because we've seen what he does with centre-backs. So I understand the reservations about his game time. If it's stay or leave, then I don't really like that mentality personally, because I don't think he should be trying to force his way into the squad in terms of his mouth. He should be forcing his way into the team using his feet, if you guys get what I mean in that regard. Look at Reece James, for example. Reece James was at Wigan, and he had as good of a season there as Levi Colwill did, if not better. And he didn't come in and immediately get game time. He didn't come in and demand game time immediately. He came in, he fought for his place, and he took it. And that's the same energy that I would want to see from Levi Colwill. So, like, I get the worry because you're seeing 3 centre-backs come in, and if Tuchel is earmarking 3 centre-backs and they're all coming in, they are all going to be ahead of you in the pecking order, and they're all going to get more game time because they've been paid for. They're the ones that have to succeed, whereas you could be more patient with the Cobham graduate. But same way, you shouldn't be trying to force his way into the team. I think the best thing for him would be to loan him out. Whether he has a good pre-season or not, and as much as I hate to say it, maybe we are going to have to rely on Malang Sarr for another season, but we have 3 defensive options coming in. So it's not like we should be relying on Sarr as much as we did last season. We relied on him a lot because of contract situations with Christensen and Rudiger, and also because of injury issues. Now, we just got to hope we're not in the same situation with injuries next season. Thiago Silva had a lot of longevity last season. I think he played the most minutes that he's ever done in a single season in Europe last season at the age of 38. So he can last. Koulibaly as well rarely gets injured. He can last. Kimpembe, I'm not so sure about his injury record. Nathan Ake, I know he did come off a big injury at Man City in his first season, but I haven't really heard about much injuries since then. So I think we could be fine with relying on Malang Sarr for another season. But for Levi Colwill, let's see what he does in pre-season. But for me, like, I'm happy for him to go on loan. Or if we sell him, at the very least, put a buyback clause and first refusal. But I'm not really panicking too much. If you guys are sitting here panicking because a Cobham graduate wants to leave, it's like, it's Chelsea. What do you expect? It always happens. Unless you're like creme de la creme, top, like, world beater, then you're going out on loan. Or you have to prove yourself in the squad. There's nothing deep about that. It's just the way it is. If Colwill don't like that, that says a lot about his mentality. If Colwill just wants to go out on loan and prove himself and get game time, there's nothing wrong with it. I think there's 2 different extremes in this regard, where people are just slagging him off because he's a Cobham graduate, or they're slagging him off or they're slagging Tuchel off actually because they're not even giving him a chance. And it's not an either barrier. Let him have a chance at pre-season, and if he goes on loan, just let him fucking go on loan. Who cares? If he goes and thrives there, bring him back. But we have options. We're fine on a defensive front with the players coming in. People just need to stop worrying about it. There was a super chat in here. This is the thing. People blaming Tuchel for what? We're not trying to succeed now. Why are we waiting on a Cobham graduate? It's pointless. Let him go on loan and leave it at that. Where's the super chat? Alpha Wolf, if I'm Chelsea, I'm telling Levi, take a loan or sit down and shut up. He's 19 and he's under contract. He's got no leverage. But this is the thing. Is Levi Colwill even actually trying to force his way out? Like, I'm just speculating. Levi Colwill might be willing to see where his position is in the squad. Levi Colwill might be trying to force his way out. Levi Colwill might be calm with his position. We are hearing different things from different sources. So I'm saying with either one of these scenarios, let it play out. But the only way where I'd have an issue with Levi is if he's trying to force his way into the squad, just based off his one season at Huddersfield. But I kind of doubt that's the case. I feel like he's just waiting to see how he plays in pre-season, how Tuchel assesses him, and what the options are. And I think people just need to be a bit patient with him on that regard. Like, we ain't even played a pre-season game. And people are saying Colwill needs to be in the squad for next season, or Colwill needs to go out on loan. I think it's best for him to go out on loan regardless of the situation. But that's it. That's it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and pick a side on this situation until we hear more or until all the sources are saying one thing. Because that's when you know it's legit. Until then, people are just waffling, speculating, or they're picking sides based on their agenda, either for Cobham or against Cobham. And we don't need to do that. Just see who comes in, see who comes out. We have options. So let us just have the options and be calm. That's it. It's as simple as that. Look, I don't blame you for saying Sarr's not Chelsea level right now, but it was his first season in the Premier League. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and see how he is next season. Because to me, like, I still think it's better for Colwill to go on loan. Like, regardless of what you could learn from Silva, from Koulibaly, you will learn more from being on loan at a Premier League club and playing week in and week out because you're that good, as opposed to sitting on a bench for most weeks. That's just facts to me. I think the best thing for you is to be more practical. Yo, big up yourself, Saints as well. I didn't even see you in it. Oh, fucking drillers. I gotta close my door. Fuck's sake. Now it's gonna bake in here. Alright, what are you guys saying? I'm gonna go through your questions for a few minutes and then we're gonna send the link out to the rest of the panel. We don't need an Ake with a Colwill at your disposal. Colwill isn't proven in the Premier League. At least Nathan Ake is. He's played in the Premier League for years, my guy. Levi Colwill's had one good season at Cobham. I'm not at Cobham, at Huddersfield. Like, great for him and everything. And I'm not going to turn my nose up at the Championship. Tomori's succeeded from there. Mount, Tammy Abraham, loads of players have. But to me, I still need to see a little bit more, especially with free signings coming in. Free experienced signings coming in. So for me, Colwill, just take the loan deal. If you go out and you thrive and you have like a Mark Gay type season, you will come back and you'll get a lot more game time. And you'll come back and there might be an extra space, by the way, because Thiago Silva, I don't think is here next season. I remember hearing when he re-signed that the plan was for him to stay for one more year and then go back to his old club in Brazil and retire there. So a space could open up for him next season. Just take the loan deal. If it comes, of course. If you do want to stay at Chelsea for the season and fight for your spot, more power to you as well. He's a good centre-back. Nothing wrong with him. It's just for right now, it's like I don't want to hear anything about him forcing it, but for all I know, it could be waffle from sources. Yes, but Reece James stayed and he fought for his spot. If Levi Colwill wants to go out and he wants to get more game time, go out and get more game time. And more power to you for that. And you can come back and potentially be one of the best centre-backs in the world if you are at that level. But go out there and show it. You will have more opportunities to show it at another club on loan for a season as you would for Chelsea. Unless you're like literally Maldini reincarnated or something. I don't know. So, we got nearly 700 of you guys in here. I didn't even notice that. Run up the likes. Run up the likes. Bruv, like, I've got nothing against journalists, like, unless they're genuinely just lying for the sake of lying. But I'm hearing different things from different sources, so like I don't really know what to believe in that regard. That's why I'm saying as well, don't pick a side. Don't start cussing out Colwill. Don't start cussing out Tuchel. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Was there anything else I needed to go through before I send the link out? We did Kimpembe, Koulibaly, Ronaldo, all of that. Yeah. Koulibaly could be announced by the end of the stream as well. I know Sterling did too. So like that would be absolutely mad if that happens. Run up the lights. Let's try and get to 400, 500, and yeah, that's a man. Let him rest. Yeah, cool. We got to 3 o'clock. Let me drop the link out to everyone. RJP Journalism has been told Chelsea will actually go in strong for Rafael Leao soon. That's mad because I think we'd be expecting a lot for him. Around the 100, 150 million mark. I'd be very surprised if we make that move. Let me send the link out to everybody. Deals, I'll check those voice notes later, my guy. Sorry, I've only just seen them now. Alright, cool. Oh, Pokudoku wants the link. I'm not surprised. There we go. Yes, guys. Well, what is everyone telling me?
What's up, Lou?
Oh, good.
Yo, man, sorry. I just went on a fucking tangent with this fucking Levi Colwill and Declan Rice rant and everything. But, yeah, on this Colwill situation, I'm not even saying pick a side or anything like that because we don't even know what the legit source is. But what do you guys think is best for him? For me, personally, take the loan deal. If one comes in, just take it and just go out and show yourself at a Premier League club. I don't think people need to be so pressed about this situation when we have 3 centre-backs coming in already. Whether he stays or he goes, we are fine. I'm not really too asked.
You're asked?
Asked. Yeah, it's not the, I know. You guys say asked or something. I'm not sure.
Yes, the correct way. That's
It's both. Like either he goes on loan or gets sold. If he gets sold this summer, we might have to do like a buyback clause for him.
Who?
Yeah, and that's fine. Colwill.
Colwill.
Why were you so worried about buyback clauses?
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm fine with it. That's like if we sell him and he's got a buyback clause or first refusal, good. We still got our clause in him, and that's fine.
Still means you've got to use it though, and I am very pessimistic about us when it comes to buyback clauses. We've had like 4 or 5 of them included in players, and we never used Bogas, we never used Ake's, and now we're buying them back for more.
We're exercising Ake's one, aren't we?
I don't think we're going to use the one we put in for Tammy. I doubt we're going to use the one we put in for Guehi or the first refusal, and then it's just the Livramento one. See where we use that. For me, I'm happy if he gets a loan.
Alex, my bad. Sorry, man.
Like if he goes on loan, that's what it is. What it is. I think selling him is the wrong option. I think he either stays and be part of the squad or loan him, because selling him I just think is the wrong option. For me personally, I just like to see him be included in the squad and don't buy 3 centre backs, buy 2. There's no need for us to buy 3, especially when one of them's Kimpembe, because that's so average. I know,
but like it's the thing where we're saying trust in Tuchel and everything. Tuchel wants him, so it's like
no. It's this idea. I'm sorry. This idea that you have to trust Tuchel with every signing is nonsense, because he's not a scout. Not every signing he's going to want to make, and not every decision he's going to want to make is going to be the correct one. There's a report come out today that he wants an attacker. The next attacker he wants to be able to cover a wing back. Like, why? Can you not just go and buy a backup wing back? Like, Klaus is there for under 10 mil. Just can you not do that? Like,
I am wondering what's happened with this Klaus situation, because
if you want a forward that can cover at wing back and his best attribute is picking the ball up from deep, which he's probably going to need to do as a wing back, we have that, and you're trying to sell him in Ziyech.
Well, I would say that's probably because our wing backs are like.
No, it's not. We're trying to sell him. Ziyech wants to leave.
Yeah.
Well, and you can argue on our team, like, wing back is the most offensive position that we have on the pitch. Like, our 2 best offensive threats were Reece James and Ben Chilwell before Chilwell got injured. Like, it doesn't not make sense that you would want an offensive person in that position, capable of creating and scoring. Like, it's not like a defensive wingback position. Like in our system, it's way more offensive. We've always said, it's more of like an additional wide midfielder when those guys play, like attacking mid sort of position. Like it doesn't not make sense that you would want somebody with an attacking threat in that position.
Oh, I get that, but go again. You can go get a wing back that is actually used to playing that. Like you go get Klaus, or you go and get Dest. I don't see the need to sign a forward who can cover a wing back like that. I don't get that. If you're going to sign a forward,
where did that report come out?
What are you talking about the forward?
I read the same thing Scott did, but I think they used the word forward. I don't think that was really a good.
Yeah, if you're talking about Rafinha and you're talking about forward, really?
Huh?
Yeah, I did see the thing
more
about
confused.
I did see the thing about Tuchel wanting Rafinha as a potential wing back option.
Exactly,
We didn't speak about that.
It didn't say the potential wing back. Everybody has to cover if we're short on something.
It's that one of the things that hang on, let me find the report and I can read it.
Let me see who. Yeah, it was Matt Law. Matt Law said Tuchel's interest in Rafinha was with a view of him off the
coming, so that doesn't matter.
There we go. What again?
Well, no, Alice is correct on that front as well because it's cover. So is that not going to be like
cover? It's not looking for his starting position as a wing back.
Yeah, it's not different from the
somebody who's versatile enough to go there.
Why is that? Can I ask a question? Why is that coming into like your need to buy a forward that they can cover right wing back? I don't care.
Because I don't think we're sticking from a back. We're moving from a back three just yet.
Why are you kicking a
dead horse? I don't think that either. But what I'm saying is my point on this.
Okay, why would you get the wing back that only can do wing back job?
Someone's just said it. Just go and buy a wing back. Then go and buy Klaus. Go and buy Dest. Go and buy.
And that will be a specific play. Scott,
that
will be a specific player for specific position. Why you cannot get the player that actually can be good at his job? Because Rafinha's defensive skills are amazing, actually, and he's a good going forward.
Can you answer me this question? If you buy a wing back who's played specifically predominantly as a wing back his entire career, he's a first choice wing back at the club he's at right now, where are you getting the minutes with Reece James playing there? Where are the minutes coming from?
It's about having good enough depth again with like Klaus.
Right.
He's going
good enough
like
depth.
no
How are you using that depth? Like I'm saying, if you get another wing back and Reece James is obviously getting the majority of the minutes, where are the minutes coming from this guy that you're bringing in that's first choice at another club?
Did we not just go through a season where Reece James became injury prone because we had to overplay him because we had no other option apart from either Loftus-Cheek, who was decent there but can't really go there most of the season. Hudson-Odoi wasn't good. Pulisic wasn't good, or Aspi, who wasn't good. Like,
that's why we're looking for Rafinha, who's actually good up top.
Complaining that we didn't have good enough depth in those wing-back areas, and that was our problem last season.
I just think you need to find minutes for everybody. And if you play specifically at right wing-back, and the logic there is that Reece James is going to be healthy for most of the season, let's hope. You can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee that.
This season, we have 5 substitutes. 5. You can get enough minutes for everyone.
If you had your choice right now, who would be the one player in the squad that you think has to play 90 every game? Who would you want to see the most? I know it's Reece James.
Reece James, yep.
James. With our current squad, how it is? Are you talking with our current squad, how it is?
Out of the current squad.
Yeah, Reece James, but again, you know why that is?
That's it.
The reason for that is because we don't have adequate cover.
Why are we?
Even if
go ahead, Asper.
If we weren't getting, for example, if we weren't getting Koulibaly, I'd say Silva. But now we're getting Koulibaly. We don't have to play Silva every game because Koulibaly can play centre back. It's about having.
But we're both gonna play.
They can both play. They're not all going to play at the same time. Like for example, Silva probably won't play some games, and Koulibaly can play centre back, and then you'll.
You want to make a bet that they will play both in a game?
I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad the ears are working today. Anyway,
I think he's saying
as I was saying, glad they're working. As I was saying, the reason I'm choosing Reece James in that situation is because we don't have cover. Say, for example, we had Klaus. I'd go, probably Silva then or Koulibaly, because I want them to be playing the majority of the game because they're going to be like central to how we play in terms of the leader on the pitch. I don't want Reece James to be playing all of the minutes because he's going to get injured again, as he did last time. I want cover there, and having a forward as the cover, to me, isn't the answer. Just go and get someone who's either a right back or a right wing back who can cover him like a clown.
What's that kid's name? What's that kid's name that went from Chelsea to Dava club because he didn't want to fight for this club?
Center or right wing back.
Do you know what club?
It's a long list.
No. I think what's the name?
Livermento.
Why did Livermento left Chelsea?
Because he wanted to play starting minutes and wasn't guaranteed starting minutes.
That's all the answer. There's no player that going to the club knowing that he's gonna be a backup.
It's fat.
Does anybody think it's going to be Kimpembe or Ake and not both of them?
Yeah, both. Tuchel said he wanted 3 centre backs.
It doesn't mean that it has to be two left-footed center backs.
Right.
I know, but
their profile is way too similar.
Koulibaly's already been done. Ake is basically done. They just need to sort out the installment plan, and Man City need to find a replacement. And Kimpembe is now the next one that we've gone into talks with as well, and that looks to have accelerated. So it looks like it's going to be those 3.
You think Chelsea will wait
very quickly?
You think Chelsea will wait on Kimpembe because City want to find a replacement for Ake? I don't think so. I think they'll push for Kimpembe as soon as they can.
So I think I get one of the two.
It's not going to be one then the other. It could be Kimpembe and then Ake. It all depends on City.
Yeah, but they're the same profile player. They're left-footed, left-sided center backs. Like I don't know if you need two of them.
Ake is going to be brought in as depth for that position. Like it's going to be Koulibaly, Silva, and Kimpembe as our best back three.
Mark my words, Ake is not going to play in the center back. He's going to play defensive mid. Mark my freaking words.
Hey,
you
know Jorginho's staying now, yeah?
I don't care.
With his connection with Koulibaly, good mates, those two.
I don't think so. That doesn't have nothing to do with it. They said that they will address the midfield at the end of the season. I still think. But I think Ake is for one particular reason, as a cover, as a center back, but also a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, it could be a cover for both, like Aspi, for example.
You'll see.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Ake or Kimpembe. I don't think it's going to be both.
So then you think we could potentially go for another centre back instead?
Yeah, one that can play on the right side as well.
But that's where what's his name playing?
Who?
Loba.
No, we about to sign one. He's right-footed center back.
Koulibaly.
He's right-footed.
No, I'm talking about somebody can play center back and right back.
Right.
Oh. Okay, so you're saying Koundé essentially, right? That's what
I'm saying Koundé. I'm saying there's cheaper options out there.
I mean, Koundé, we need to hurry up because if it gets closer to the start of the season, I think Sevilla just closed the door on us.
And didn't I'm pretty sure Matt Law just posted that it's the 3 center backs we're looking at as the 3 center backs is Ake, Kimpembe, and Koulibaly coming in.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I'd be surprised if we go for anybody else. Just as I understand the reservation, but I'd be very surprised.
I'm just saying, why would you bring in 3 left? You would have 2 left-footed center backs.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense profile-wise. Like, where would Ake or Kimpembe be knocking about
lefties?
I don't think it particularly matters if we're playing 2 2 centre backs at the back, because one of them's going to have to be left-footed and the other one's going to be depth anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's not like they're all going to be on the pitch at the same time.
Exactly.
Well, I think what you're missing. Well, this is what everyone's missing. That Silva's not going to play every game, right? So that's where I think Koulibaly fits best.
We said that last year.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, but we played him too many. But we can agree that we played him more than he should have played, right?
Yeah, he certainly didn't cost us.
Yeah, so Koulibaly is the great guy that can replace him in the middle, and then you have Ake, and then whoever you want. If we've got 3 centre backs, it's good to have 6, at least 5 solid, and throw Chalobah in there too, because I do think Aspi is going as well. So it does make sense, and Kimpembe. These guys are going to play different roles.
There were some reports about. Go ahead.
It was reported that we are after a wingback. I don't know what Scott was on about.
Okay, but if a wingback is not a fullback,
it's not, and our wingbacks are more attackers than actually defensive ones, right?
Okay, if you go to a 4, you need somebody who can play.
But we're not going to a 4. If we're going to buy that many defenders, we're not going to a 4.
We're not going.
We are going to a 4.
Listen,
Well, we could
the
do it.
transfers are going to speak for themselves. The preseason and transfers are going to answer these questions. Yeah, you're going to watch the preseason and you're going to see how we're going to play. And if we start bringing more centre backs in, then a back four, then obviously we're going to stick to
We
the
are
three at the back.
linked with a center midfielder as well.
You can't say this is what's happening when we haven't seen it yet. But our questions are going to be answered soon.
Who's the center midfielder?
Nunez. There were some reports last night that Chelsea have sort of put the Ake deal on hold while they work on Kimpembe. So if that's true, then it does lead me to think that maybe it's one or the other, because they would just, and especially if we're not going to wait for City to buy a
Maybe we saw the
replacement.
backlash on Twitter about Levi Colwill.
No, I don't think they saw the backlash on Twitter. I just think
I
that
hope they saw the backlash on Twitter.
Kimpembe, you would rather.
I would rather have Kimpembe than
Ake.
Ake. I'd rather have Kimpembe than Ake. That's one thing.
So would I.
Second thing, if
rather
Kimpembe is coming, I definitely want Colwill to stay and fight for the position.
But that's on him, though, right? That's on him.
I heard from the kid that does the Chelsea's loan and youth, and it's not Peter Doku, an actually reliable kid that actually has the account that he follows all the loans, all the loans, guys, and he said there's not a chance that Levi Colwill requested to leave. Only thing he said is he would like to be in a conversation. He always dreamed of playing for Chelsea. He does not want to force himself to be sold. He will not even. He said that he's not even asking to be a main player. He knows he's not him, and he wants to just fair shot. That's it.
Well, if that's the case, then you know what? Even more power to him in that regard. I've got nothing wrong with that. If it was true that he was trying to force his way into the squad, which I barely believe.
By the way,
then
but if this news report is true, right? Then he's actually asking to move, because how can this news come out before the preseason? Where he hasn't even tried a preseason to see where his position's at in the team before. That's how I took it. That his request to move, right? That preseason hasn't even started yet, right? To know where he is at. So someone's made it up then.
I don't think he's actually at LA.
Right? It was Fabrizio who said he was likely to leave.
Is he's with Chelsea?
And everyone else said differently.
Yeah.
Is he's with Chelsea? Is he's with Chelsea at Los Angeles now? No.
Yes. Oh,
is he?
Colwill?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay,
Yeah,
then he has a shot to be shown. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why all of a sudden Ake and Kimpembe start to be put on hold, because Levi Colwill is a decent. Look, people think that we when you're saying that we like for the youngsters to progress, it's automatically that we like, oh, he needs. Sometimes as a youngster, even if you on a training ground, look at the club. How many players that they had on the team books, but did not have a game at all, or maybe game of occasionally, and all of a sudden the kid that broke his legs, nobody ever heard of him before that season.
Wow!
But all of a sudden he was such a good for Liverpool. It's because he's been around first team all the time, and he knew the system.
Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Okay, I was.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I think
like, you don't have to be playing. You have to be training with the first team, and you will be suited for the system. You will know what the system is.
That is ideally what you want to see, but I don't know if that's necessarily what happens all the time.
I understand, but that's my frustration with it.
Yeah, we had Chelsea TV kids. We all watched like the youth kids coming up. These kids became stars at very young ages because of the fact that they're displaying themselves in front of the fan base week after week, really. So when you have that, and then you have them being gassed by their agents and whatnot, like you can go play here, you can go do that. There's a different thing that happens there. So they're
Couch,
can play elsewhere.
1 second, comment, Lewis. Can you bring comment?
Just before we do that, let me know which one afterwards. Alpha Wolf says Klaus is going Marseille's. And the same reason you're saying we need a wing back is the same reason we need 3 centre backs. And I get that as well for depth in the position, because we didn't have enough depth in the wing back position. 3 centre backs I'm more than fine with.
Simon Phillips is reporting that it may be
comment, please.
Which one?
Kimpembe or Ake, and not both.
Well, so Simon Phillips is saying one or the other.
Let me get the direct quote.
Was it this one?
Chances are it may be Kimpembe or Aki and not
come
both.
on. Oh, shit. Congratulations, mate. Big up yourself. Really happy
Baby
to
blue.
hear that. Sorry. Didn't even see that. Congratulations, my guy. Everyone as well in the comment section. Give him congratulations, man.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, man.
I thought you were going to...
Sorry,
blue hearts in the chat.
Because I knew Lewis did not spot the
Wait,
chat.
congratulating who again?
I think it was a big...
Good morning, Fathur.
Oh, shit. Fat has just woken up. Nice.
No,
Right.
The reason why I was saying it, because people saying that, oh, we're not going to do this kind of thing since Roman left. And Roman left, and we're still doing the same thing by letting him go
Doing what thing?
Well, like I think that's one of the things that the academy is for. It's for us to develop and make money.
What the fuck?
What's going on here?
You good, bro?
Fathur, you alright, mate?
Yeah, we already know he's not.
Yeah,
you know, we don't think he is.
Fucking hell, go AM. Oh my god. Oh,
I mean,
fair enough.
You
are a terrible human being.
We still need to sell in order to to balance the books. We still need to do that, correct? Right?
No, our books are so balanced actually, with debt free. Like
I
how
mean, going forward, this is still something that we need to do. So the academy,
we do. We're not
for me, the academy is not about like trying to graduate kids into the first team. The academy is about preparing kids for professional football.
Right.
Whether it be at Chelsea or otherwise is neither here nor there for me. Like if they're good enough to play at a side at Chelsea at a young age, then by all means play. But
do you want to know what?
It's not just about preparing them for Chelsea's first team.
And this waffle about we don't promote. We have tons of kids from the academy in our first team right now. Like to say we don't develop and promote kids is fucking crazy.
I get the money aspect of the academy, but it's kind of counterproductive when you're spending money needlessly. For me,
and that's exactly why this is exactly why I think the Ake rumors are going to die down.
And we're buying back academy kids.
Like Ake needs to die down.
The Ake like what I think is going to happen.
We're
is
just a little late on our buyback clause.
Wait. Let's do a scope. Let's do a scope. Go.
Colwill's going to play during preseason, and then we're going to see the Ake's rumors dissipate because it's like you have a better, a cheaper alternative instead of forking out 40 million on just a backup player when you have one literally just there. And literally the same thing, like case in point happened last season with Chalobah. We're getting ready to loan him out or see what he could do. He played in preseason, impressed, and he stayed. So I think the same thing will happen again with Colwill.
That's kind of not true, but that's okay.
No, it could happen.
It's not.
It will happen.
It's not about Ake actually for me. It's about Sar. If Sar stays in that fucking team for the season, and we have to sell.
But that's not what happened last summer.
I'm not talking about last summer.
The only reason
I know what you did last summer. It's not that movie.
Go on, Jester.
I'm saying about this summer.
Jester, go ahead. Come on.
Go on, Jesters.
That's not what happened with Chalobah last summer. The only reason he stayed is because Koundé didn't come in. If Koundé would have came in, Chalobah would not have stayed.
I mean, that's
didn't Chalobah make his?
No, that's the only way to look at it because that's the actual fact.
It's not the only way to look. It's not the only way to
look.
No,
it is because
Tuchel and Chalobah both. Tuchel and Chalobah both said that. Literally, Chalobah literally said, "I was looking to go out on loan," but Tuchel cancelled the whole loan thing.
So why
did he? That's because they sold Zuma, thinking they were going to buy.
And that only happened. That only happened because Chalobah played during preseason.
No, because
so it's not the only way to look at it.
Because Koundé, they raised the salary right after we sold Zuma.
Right.
They raised the price.
I mean, we only sold Zuma because we thought we were bringing Koundé in. Like they didn't do that because
they didn't do it. They raised the price right after we sold Zuma because they knew that we're gonna need to buy it.
And then that's why we ended up having.
We end up Chalobah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But either way, Chalobah playing during preseason. Either way, Chalobah playing during preseason gave him the opportunity to show what he could do, and he was seen as a viable option. So what I'm saying is wrong.
He was seen as a viable option, but
And the same thing's going to happen with Colwill.
So viable option is our ceiling here. At Chelsea.
Exactly. That's
viable
option.
Your viable option, you make the team.
Yeah, viable option for Chelsea. What I'm saying, I don't know why you're nitpicking it. A viable option for a backup role at our club.
No.
That's exactly what we're signing Ake to be, a viable option for him as a backup. Because he's not going to start.
Let me say this. Chalobah did stay the season. He had a decent season. But now look at all the center backs we're bringing in. What does that tell you about what Tuchel sees in Chalobah? He's going to even
pass the football.
He's going to be even less of an option this season.
Wait, say that again?
He's going to be even less of an option this season. So it tells you Chalobah's role.
Well, hold on. Like it depends, because if we're going to a back four, then I guess his chances will diminish quite a bit. But if we're sticking to a back three, the right centre back role, I guess it depends who you think's going to play. Start right centre back.
Sir Timo Werner, I dare you to do something about it.
Oh my gosh!
Or they keep a three and they push Chalobah into the defensive midfield, which was reported the other day.
Yeah,
as a potential option.
That could also happen. That could also happen. I mean, he was.
I like Levi Cole. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think we should be gassing him up as a 19-year-old to come in and be like some sort of pinned on guy who's going to play every third or fourth game.
It's not that. I don't think people get is no one's asking him to be that. Most of what me, Alex, or Duoscope or whoever are asking is for him to have a pathway. As long as he has a pathway,
exactly
where he is now, to potentially in 2-3 years' time. Look at Phil Foden, for example. We've shown the pathway that once Silva leaves, once De Bruyne starts wearing out, once these guys, and you learn off these guys, you have the pathway. Some people don't want the pathway. They want game time now, which if he wants game time now, we can't do anything. That's fair enough. Load him or whatever. But if you show him the pathway and go, you're probably going to be a backup option this season, but you're going to learn off Koulibaly, you're going to learn off Silva, you're going to learn off these other guys. We're going to give you minutes here and there, 10 minutes at the end of this game, 10 minutes at the end of this game, cup game here and there. You can show what you've got. No one's asking to come in and be starting left centre-back because no one's that stupid. That's stupid to expect him to come in and start. But show him that you can see you have a chance. You can show what you've got. Because it was the same with every other player. Show what you can do. If you're not good enough, buy. If you are good enough, then maybe there's a spot for you.
Exactly.
100%. Cameron says, can the panel discuss Koundé? Spurs and City are interested in keeping tabs. Not getting him for me is disappointing as we have had all the framework already done. Ake or Koundé, no discussion here. Here's the thing though, this has just really cooled off since Marina left, and it makes me feel like this wasn't necessarily a Tuchel target. And I understand, personally, I'd love to see Koundé in the squad. I think he's very versatile, and he would compete for the main spots in the squad while also providing depth in various positions in the back five as well. But it just feels like we're not as interested in him as old reports made it out to be. I don't know what you guys are feeling, but I feel like it's cool
my feeling about Koundé is one. Jam is gonna cry.
What was I think Crown Jewels and all that. I forgot.
Yeah, I think
he's still pushing.
I think he was a nailed. I think if we were, this is kind of like my whole thinking as to why we're not going to play a back three anymore. Because I think Koundé would be a nailed on back three, the perfect player for the right centre back position. So if we're not going for him, I think that kind of foreshadows what formation we're going to play next season. Am I doing one of the things this?
Yes. No, actually.
No, I don't think that means anything. Personally.
I think that means that that's not a priority of the right side. I think that means that we have a pretty good priority if we go into the back three on the right side.
Well, maybe there's not a huge market for him right now. To be honest with you, we've been a month and a half into the window, and nobody's made an official bid for him.
Maybe Tuchel sees Koulibaly as the right centre back.
Yeah.
And then he's I've got my
on the right
centre back, and now I need my left centre back. Yeah. I've got my even though he's more like a Rudiger replacement, I've got my replacement for Aspi or Christensen for the right hand side. Now I get my Rudiger replacement in terms of positionally speaking for the left hand side with Ake or Kimpembe or whoever.
He's Reece James there as well.
Is the left-sided centre back, so I think if it is, it's gonna be. I still think we're gonna play sometimes 3 with like. You know what? I think the reason why Ake was there in the first place, because I think Ake is the one that can progress as a center defender high up the pitch with the possession.
And I think, as in like ball carrying, you mean?
Yeah, ball carrying, and they will automatically become 4 at the back. You know, sometimes like when Christensen did it, Rudiger did it. Remember those Rudiger's run for the from the center, from that kind of thing, but. Rudiger goes like he goes like a tractor, you know what I'm saying? Non-stop, doesn't matter what happens there. Maybe Tuchel's still looking for that kind of situation when center backs can do. Another thing is actually Kimpembe. He's a really good ball distributor. He's a really good goal distributor. Based on his stats, the guy is actually really, really good.
And we're going to be great playing out the back as a result.
That's what Thiago Silva did it. Since we don't have a good midfielder that does it.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna bounce. Y'all have a good one.
Take it easy.
Take care of yourself, Jester. Big up, my guy.
I just have the thing with Kimpembe. I just have so many like worries about him. He worries me so much because of how mistake heavy he is. Like I just worry about.
Is he? Not like I'm watching a game, just look at some of them after we get linked with it. And defensively, I can see the shakiness on him. The reason, my question is, would you prefer Ake than Scott?
Yeah, I would, because for me, Ake's calmer on the ball. I think that he is less erratic on it. I think he is calmness on the ball is better. And I think he's more comfortable taking out of defence, which I think from the wide centre-backs we need. Like, Kimpembe, for me, he reminds me so much of Zuma just with ball distribution. Like, really,
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Mistake heavy. He's got much better distribution than Zuma, but also apart from his distribution, his best attributes come from recovery challenges. Which
exactly.
Maybe there is a position of like we're going for Ake and City stuck on a price, and we want to lower the price, so we want to link to the other player just to see if City will drop the price.
I could see that. I could absolutely see
that. But like we'd be getting Ake in for cheaper than we're getting Kimpembe in.
No. Kimpembe is cheaper. Kimpembe is like 32.
No, Kimpembe.
Yeah, apparently PSG are going to have a bit of a
pounds because they're asking for 40 euros.
Yeah, but
40
it
euros.
might be easier to negotiate with PSG at the moment. I think they need to get a few players off their book.
And this is another thing with me with that is the reason it's easier to deal with PSG is they've already got their replacement lined up, and he's an improvement on Kimpembe.
Who is it?
Skriniar.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think he's going there.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Well, it's not done deal yet, so.
I don't think Skriniar goes anywhere. I think Skriniar's staying. But that's just
and I think this new technical director is going to go for younger players. And maybe potentially French.
Do you not think Kimpembe is prone to mistake?
Yes. He was... I had a little look because someone mentioned about him being France's starting centre-back earlier in the stream when I called him average. He was at fault for the penalty they conceded in the Nations League, and that's why they lost for that penalty. And he was at fault. He gave it. He's just so mistake prone. Like he's good on the ball. I understand that, but he is so mistake heavy.
Yeah, I think it's those concentration levels we're talking about, right? You're because if he's good in possession, and we're going to be in possession of the football 70% of the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and the guy passes the ball 95%. I mean,
look.
If he's playing right and left centre back,
a liability, right?
You got if you're playing right and centre back, you got breathing room. The way those positions are, so we don't have to worry as much. And I think he's going to have a lot of help, so less prone to attack, less prone to making risk.
Scott, can I ask
before you go off on a side note? I love when people make stupid comments. No, France didn't win the Nations League, dummy. They lost to Croatia.
My question is about Kimpembe. Is like I said, I'm not watching French league. There's Farmers League, but the national team. What my problem is, like, it's hard to defend against a really fast transition. So the center backs are more likely to make mistakes on a counter attack. You see what I'm saying? So That's what my thing is. If he makes mistakes, usually when the offensive teams press too high and all of a sudden comes back towards them, if he does more mistakes on that kind of thing, or he makes mistakes during even like, you know, when evenly possession teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think, do you understand what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
Scott?
I think he's mistake prone in a 2, but I don't know if we play a 3, whether or not those mistakes are masked in a similar fashion to what we saw under Rudiger when he went into a 3. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. Like Scott, I agree with Scott in the sense that like I've seen him and I'm not quite certain that like he's, you know, composed enough or, you know, is focused enough to, you know, play in a 2 and be, you know, a stopper there for us. But if you play him in a 3 where he has, you know, cover and whatnot, and he's such an incredible passer, obviously, like long, short, medium, he's incredible. Will we be able to get the best out of him in this system? I tend to think we might be able to.
Potentially, but again, like for me, I understand if he's the only option we're going for, but I think with Ake there, I think Ake is the better option of the 2 in terms of what you're looking for. Like, apart from the passing, which I'll be honest, I've checked the stats, it's kind of negligible in some areas. Like, long passing is fair enough, like Kimpembe is miles better. But in terms, as I said, the calmness on the ball, the taking it from defense to like midfield, the ball carrying, like the lack of mistakes, Ake's better in all those instances and is potentially cheaper. So, like, I get that Kimpembe has the ability to be masked in some areas, especially playing next to Silva, and potentially with Chilwell next to him, depending on, you know, his ability levels with the injury. But yeah, for me, I'd still take Ake over Kimpembe personally.
Yeah, we've been going for Ake for a while now, and I mean, he fits us a little bit better than Kimpembe. Kimpembe just suddenly came up. It seems like a sure thing, and now they're prioritizing Kimpembe. I'm not saying Kimpembe won't come, but Ake is for me more sure signing, and we might get Kimpembe as well, but I don't know. It might be a ploy to get City to budge a little bit.
It could be a plot. That's what I'm looking for. Could be a plot.
We'll see.
To lower the price. But another thing is in the news. I heard you. Ronaldo is not coming to Chelsea, so it's a sad day at
Tuchel
camp.
Yeah,
but I'm here to make a prediction. If Ronaldo does not leave Manchester United, and a forward line is gonna be the same shit as last year, because I don't think Sterling only improved us. Remember, we're going to be linked with Ronaldo in January, and I think it will be a different decision. Remember
Ronaldo coming midway through the season, though. Like that, I don't know. I can't see that.
Well, Alex, that could happen sooner. The league starts earlier. We get a full month of transfer window and EPL games. There's a lot of games here to start seeing. To start seeing a lackluster attack, and then start to go. No one's really doing it.
Liao is a good shot in the way the transfer market goes, but I still think we need I still think we need center forward cover for. We have Broja, but come on, he's a kid. I don't want to put that much weight on him.
Paul Jr. says, does Emerson or Kennedy deserve to stay as a backup left back? I do think we're going to be in that position. Because I think there's so many areas that we need to adjust. We are probably just going to give one of them a run out. Probably Emerson, just based off experience. Kennedy barely played, even when he was here.
I think Kennedy is better than, but what I think.
Kennedy's shit.
No,
I'm surprised you rate Kennedy so highly. Kennedy's shit.
Because I think Kennedy is more viable for the team. He's not going to play that long, but he can actually play as a wing back, as a left back, and he can play as a winger.
He can't play anything. He's shit.
Okay.
He's good on attack too. If you saw from Newcastle, he was playing all attack there.
He's a winger.
So great they wanted to sign him.
Now they can sign him.
I think as a backup left back, I'll take Emerson. As a backup wing back, I'll take Kennedy.
wouldn't take Kennedy.
That's a fair shot. Yeah, Kennedy is better as a wing back than as a left back.
Kennedy's not better as a footballer, let alone a wing back.
Well, he achieved something in his life.
What did he achieve? Let's move on then. You can't name it. Let's move on.
No. I just don't want to destroy you. I just don't want to destroy you. And
I've not.
No, we're here, man. We're here.
They're throwing in a towel for you on your Kennedy opinion. It's over. Kennedy's shit. Stop flogging it. You know, I don't get this. You ever go to Jorginho and big up Kennedy? Bloody hell.
I think Kennedy has a better shot in his position than Jorginho in his position.
Oh my days.
That is one of the most asinine statements you've ever said. And see, and you know it as well. You know it as well.
Yeah, as soon as I finish that sentence, it's like it hit me like
Oh, you should have done with your camera off.
You see, at least I'm not a you pussy. Oh, that has
should have ducked out like.
That's true.
No, I was trolling, but
know.
Look, if you think that I don't want somebody better than Emerson or JFK,
what do people think about
Colwill?
Of
course I do.
Zinchenko? What about Zinchenko? Because Arsenal.
I see Zinchenko actually better as a midfielder than he's on the left side.
It's one of those who could do 2 and 3 jobs, isn't it? It's one of those.
Yeah,
I think that's what Tuchel's.
I think he's really bad on the left side. That's why, if City conceded, they concede on Zinchenko's side all the time. That's how we actually scored against them in the final, because he got out of position.
Wait, what?
Or it was a game.
No,
it was a league game.
Right. So it was in the middle, wasn't it? Yeah. Did he
play? No, I think I'm messing up with the league game. Like he was always.
Yeah.
He was on that side. He always bump forwards, but can't go back. Anyway, Zinchenko is a good, talented player, but he's a midfielder. He's a midfielder. He should not play on the left side at all.
Yeah. Interesting.
I know Pep putting him there, but
he'd be great in our team.
I mean, Arsenal linked with him. I think we're going to be really good for them because the one thing I actually look, Zinchenko is yes, somebody Zinchenko did start it. Anyway, my thing is his passing range is good too. Zinchenko is really good with passing range, because if you look at the way Ukraine plays, Zinchenko plays that creative, sometimes deep midfield, and he progresses up. He reminds me a little bit of what's his name from Croatia midfielder. Not as good, of course, but similarity with that fraud from Real Madrid. Modric reminds me of Modric a little bit.
The fraud from Real Madrid.
Yeah. But poor Modric. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he has that. When he plays for Ukraine, that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think people should get hyped about his performance against Scotland. They're rubbish.
Wow, you're coming up with some smoke today, Scotty. What's up, man?
With the whole midfield attacker wingback thing, I had a feeling Rafinha was going to be used as a hybrid wingback, and people don't like to hear it because they still see a wingback as a defensive position, and it's just not the way it is. Now that Rafinha is gone, though, I'm going to be curious to see who else Tuchel had on his list.
Perisic would have been great.
Perisic would have been
great. It would have been great as a,
He's really good in that role.
But if we play in back three,
yeah.
Because if we play back four, he's worthless.
We're not playing back three. Like I don't see how, where this idea that we're going to be switching our system. We'll know by Saturday, anyways. The first game will.
How about
it's going to be
open-minded that the manager is looking at more than one system.
That's it. I don't think we're going to just stick to one position. I think we're just going to try a couple out.
No, but it can be the same. It can be the same system.
We didn't do
that. It can
be
be the same system, but tweaked.
We're not bringing in players to build a four at the back. We're
No, but we tried to play four at the back.
Sorry?
But that was when we had injuries.
It's a different. No,
I know,
but
it wasn't very good, right?
Last season we played 3 at the back, occasionally 4 at the back. This season we're gonna play 4 at the back, occasionally 3 at the back.
No. Second half of the season, a lot of our games was 4 at the back. No,
I wouldn't say a lot. It was
probably like
it felt like it was over 50%.
No.
I mean, I think with the 3 at the back, we all witnessed the terrorism football we're playing. So I think Tuchel can be open-minded enough to think that maybe changing it could be a good idea.
I think he just wants to have flexibility.
To be fair, we are good up until December because of 3 at the back.
I just think regardless, the quality of football was so bad. So I think some change could be necessary.
My thing is going to be we're going to play 4 at the back more often than 3 at the back next season.
It has nothing to do with the players. I'm referring to the manager because the manager's the one's going to change it.
You know, it's going to be like I think he's going to be buying players to be able to switch.
Exactly.
In-game at the
I
start.
think it's going to be in game switch, and I think it's going to be because depends on our point.
Remember, there's 5 subs as well. There's 5 subs.
Based on opponent.
To do so.
Based on opponents, based on the way the game is going, he wants to be able to just switch things in game. He wants to have the players to play at a 3 and a 4, depending on what we need in the game.
Right, but I still think our base setup is going to be 3 at the back. Like we're going to be seeing that more often.
I agree. It's still going to be a 3. We're going to have
It's not a transformer where we're just gonna change the complete formation. It's just going to be tweaks here and there. Here they throw extra attacker, extra defender. Let's take a defender or put it. The fundamentals and the system is going to be very similar, but it's going to be tweaked a lot. And you're talking about let's just go 4-3-3 and change the whole. You know how many players you got to change for that? Even if you got 5 subs, do you know what I mean? So
Adama
you just full change
is
everything.
a good shout for the right side. But,
I wanted them last season. I was all over that.
Again, it's a wing back situation. It's not right back situation.
I think it'd be good depth, but again, it'll only be from attacking perspective. Defensively, not as sure.
Well, don't worry, Barcelona will probably link to him 3 goes.
They'll probably just try and take him back when they hear we're interested.
I thought they said they weren't going to report they weren't going to, but they couldn't afford him, and now he's only £10 million or something.
By the way, that liver thing, I still think that Barcelona is going to be initiated when they find out how much money they can spend today. They can't register players. Even Leeds manager.
I'm telling you, Alex, they're going to try to get leeway off La Liga. They might get it.
They get it. But as of right now, even Leeds coach, when he had interview, he's like, "Hey, he's there, but we don't know."
The league thing has nothing to do with registering players. That's just money to buy players or to pay their wage. But they can't register players with the way the team is now. They're depending on De Jong leaving and a couple of other people. And that's the part it's risky because they were pretty... Go ahead.
I was going to say, what they're doing is there's a whole bunch of new rules implemented in the new people that took over the Liga, right? And they're trying to find some stability there. And all these new rules, they don't fit it. But what they're trying to do is trying to say, well, you know, give us some time to adapt to these rules. And Barca are used to getting favoured with the Liga, and that's what they're doing. So I think they're really. I mean, it's who's going to give in, La Liga or or Barca? Like who puts their foot down? I think La Liga might actually give them the leeway and say that they have to show next season, an improvement and whatnot. They're not complying with the rules.
Declare. Just look at this way. This way. It's all registration of players. All depends on De Jong.
That's a big factor.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a big factor in that thing. Registration of the player. They can sign the players, but they cannot register. So if Rafinha with the shirt, it still doesn't mean that they can actually register them. So my question is, because he's gonna take like if he makes 600 grand a week, if he's living, that they can spread that salary to so many players. You know what I'm saying? That 3 players, whatever whenever they want to register, but they already have to what's his name? AC, some other defender, some other guy, and Rafinha. All 3 wages still waiting to be 3 players still waiting to be registered. And what's his name? What's that guy that Dembele?
Oh, Dembele as well.
What about
Dembele as well. He just resigned, but we're not registering him. So that's 4 players that waits to be registered.
Dembele's an idiot, man.
Yeah, what an idiot.
His
man.
agent is
You can hold that. You see the fucking announcement, and they're so broke they're doing it. That's hilarious.
You know
man.
what I was waiting for, Lewis? I was waiting for the pen not to work.
The pen don't work. Sorry, man. You're gonna have to prick your finger and write it in blood. Sorry, my guy. It's all good.
By the way, I mean, it's like how La Liga is not gonna see that it's.
La Liga knows
If they were relying on De Jong, he's going to stuff him because he doesn't want him to go and he doesn't want to take a pay
Dude,
cut.
they got to negotiate.
Apparently they agreed to fit with United.
Yeah, that deal is done. It's just De Jong holding it up. He doesn't want to go. So they're just gonna have to hold that.
I think he's put him in a real tight squeeze, and they know that.
But I agree. Somebody put it in the chat that Laporta said one thing. I know what Laporta said, but that you can't go back and fix the problem you did it before. You can't go back and fix the contract on De Jong if he's not agreeing it.
Yeah.
If you want to lower his wages, he has to agree it. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't. It's breach of contract.
Unless
he will own Barcelona if he sues them for that.
Unless he breaches his contract, you can't do
Unless he breaches the contract. That's it.
And
you can't go back and saying like, oh, we have to cut your wages because we can afford it.
His wages anyway. That's why they owe him so much.
Yeah. He already agreed to lower his wages because of COVID. And it's like a mortgage. If you don't want to pay your mortgage, they get the missing mortgage and they push it on forward.
Yeah.
That's the same thing what they did.
Yeah, he was
agreed that you pay him this summer.
How long do you think De Jong hasn't been paid for to accumulate 17 mil? How much does he get per year?
600.
What's 600k?
No, I don't think it's
52,
that much.
right?
It was 600k.
No, I don't. We've seen those before, but I don't think it's that high. It's like 370 or something like that. It's not.
That's
600.
after he took a pay cut.
Actually, 600 might be a gross. Actually,
no.
The 3 something might be
the 370. It's after the COVID pay cut.
Did he take a pay cut, or did he just
Yes.
have deferred wages? I think what happened is they deferred some of their wages where they wouldn't pay them until later, and that's where the 17 mil accumulated.
Yes.
So they still have.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
but I'm saying,
annually. Who makes 600k annually?
La Liga teams.
People in the chat,
Messi?
man.
Or some
No,
shit like
they
that.
said
Oh,
it's
annually. Forget that. Yeah, I take that back. I don't know. I ain't got a clue. Let's see what other stuff's in here. Can't even go through to it. I spent the last time roasting
Texas
some
Blues.
fat
It's
shit.
not annually. It's annually.
Well, we went through the Nabry stuff, but like that's just minor. He's using us for a new contract, and is what it is. Don't need him. Crystal Palace are thought to be among the front runners for Levi Colwill's signature if he leaves this summer. Crystal Palace coming back for more players. Imagine my shock. Arsenal, Leicester City, Southampton, and Brighton all interested. The Blues are currently considering his future. I think all of them would be great loan moves, except Arsenal. I don't want to see him in an Arsenal shirt.
I wonder if the Palace fan base are going,
oh fuck
no,
that!
Don't buy Levi Colwill. He'll stop the progression of whoever's in their academy. I don't think so, right? You know, it's one of those things, man. If he goes, he goes. If he stays,
Yeah, we actually have an older defender, the Goody. Man, the kid is so good.
Who?
Yeah, now people see he's so good.
Goody, what's his name? Goody,
Last summer it wasn't an uproar. You know what I mean? Just, you know.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna have MCFCDAPS on here in a few minutes as well, so we can go through like Sterling and Ake situation a little bit as well. But yeah, big up Daniel as well, saying "Sue." Damn it, never mind. Yep, I totally understand the energy. Is what it is.
Hey,
yeah, we're gonna have to own that.
Don't say
one.
never. Don't say never.
If Ronaldo finds his way to Chelsea, I don't even know what to make of it. But Tuchel said no, so
Well, because he likes Lewandowski. I don't know why Tuchel likes all the players that wants to go to Barcelona.
I know, but like I'm more on this one because I don't think he goes. I'd be very surprised they can get the money for both, unless this De Jong deal
we
goes
are surprised.
Apparently the deal is close. Apparently that
we were surprised with Rafinha, but like we also kind of
thinking either Rafinha or Dembele.
No, but we also kind of shouldn't have been because we said a few weeks before that Rafinha was likely going to Barcelona so we could get Dembele, and so we already had an idea that he was meant to be going Barca. What we didn't expect is that they would get both. Which also doesn't make sense.
About Barca spending money. It's already been proven wrong several times this summer. So,
I get it. I get it. It's just like, when does it stop? When does it stop?
When they
Somebody put it in the chat saying Ronaldo is gonna do a De Wingy at
an odd Wingy. That would actually be hilarious. He would get the move pushed through just off name value.
Hang on, you think he's driving himself? No, Charles. He's been driven.
No, but he'll still be on the side.
It's the same, but it's more expensive car.
Yeah, but he'd be in the back. Have to go right down the window.
All I can say is look at Adi Wingy. What club did he play before, and you will know something. You can make a link between. I actually know something about him, but we move.
About Odemwingie? Oh, well, like, did you personally know him or something?
Mm-hmm. I was a young kid.
What? Like, what? Was he in Russia or something, or what?
Yeah, he was a Russian player. His dad is Russian. His mom is Russian.
He's Russian Nigerian, but he played for
Nigeria.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That is fucking crazy. Did he ever say anything to you about that move? Yo, we're all good, man. We're all good. Did you say anything? Did he say anything to you about like that whole transfer saga or what?
No.
Oh, damn it! I would have liked to know that.
My best mate, he played in France, second league. He was the one that his good mate in when he was in EPL. We both came from same French. I think he was playing for French league at the time. But look at the club that he played. Look at if you can look it up, what club he used to play in Russia, you will know why.
Once.
Well, it's Lokomotiv.
Let's see. Oh yeah, he was born in Uzbekistan. Mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Lokomotiv Moscow for not a year, a couple years, 2007 to 2011. Small ass world. That is crazy. You lot can go get Rafi Nabri. I couldn't give a shit. He's just using us for a contract. I couldn't care less.
Yeah. I don't think it suited us, Canabri, by the way.
It was weird we were going for him after Rafinha, but I still thought he would improve us.
No, that AC Milan kid actually makes more sense the way with Rafinha links.
Not 400 mil though. Not 400 though. No way. I am paying 100 mil for I'm paying 100 mil for Leon. No way.
You ain't paying 10 cents, you broke us.
Huh?
No, the thing
they want Jester.
Not 400 mil though. Not 400 mil. No way.
What about the Ziyech?
Well, it said 80 to 90, wasn't it?
No, yeah, but I swear, what's the release clause? Let me fucking check it.
150.
Yeah,
150 million.
You must be having a laugh. I ain't paying that.
So you would be looking for about 100 million for it.
You know that,
yeah,
right?
but the circumstances change if he doesn't.
The circumstances change.
Alex, saying you would.
Doesn't he have 2 years left?
Mil.
That's what I'm about to say. That, but the kid is like, "Oh, you're gonna pay?" No, nobody's paying those. Of course, nobody's paying those. Way. Nobody's paying that. The question is the reason why they're paying that because he has a 2-year contract left.
This is the person I want on the channel. Daps.
Yes, bro. What are you saying?
It's gonna get very interesting now.
I can't
be very interesting now. Go on.
What are you telling me, my guy? You all good?
I'm good, bruv. I'm good. I'm wondering who the hell was that and what they're on. But,
oh, that's Deals. Big up Deals.
Oh, it's Deals. What are you saying, brother?
I'm good. Too. How are you?
What? Do you guys know each other from like past streams or something?
No, we know each other. Streams. We speak on Instagram like probably daily, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell! Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I thought it was coming on violence or some shit.
No.
Yo,
You know what it is?
We've
Bro,
been
there's no messages I get on Instagram that I don't respond to. I speak to literally fans, even Liverpool fans, but it's more banter with them ones. To be fair.
And to be honest, you're better than me. I'm so bad with my messages. But I
Steve
think half
told
the
me,
fans can admit to that.
Bro, it's Steve. That's why I always say, follow me on Instagram. I'll respond to you. If it's on Twitter, I just air it. Because I know Twitter's just someone trying to actually be a toxic wanker. Whereas on Instagram, it's someone that actually wants to talk football. So I don't mind.
I've literally been beefing some fat gooner for the last hour on Twitter while I've been streaming. Like, it's all mad.
I can't stand Twitter, bro. I can't stand Twitter. But yeah, what are you lot saying? You lot happy now, innit? You lot getting happy.
Man. Koulibaly's in the door. Ake is potentially, but I think you guys need a replacement, right?
Yeah. I think that's the one that I think's taken our board. Maybe I've said this on a few streams, but I was saying earlier, I feel like Sterling and Jesus was ones where we didn't have to sell them, but like if we got the money we wanted, we'd sell them because maybe they're not in Pep's plans. But same way, I'm not saying if Sterling stayed, I think Sterling still would have played at very least 35 games next season in all comps, at very least. But there were ones where, you know what, year left, if we could get some money. Whereas with the Ake one, I think that's a bit of a left field one. And so they're like, well, firstly, you have to pay us what we want. Secondly, you've got to give us time to go and see what we can get in that market. Because I'll be 100. That is a market that I would just try and avoid. Centre-backs, shit market, because you never know what you're going to get. Even with Koulibaly, I'll be honest, I have said it on Koulibaly. I rate Koulibaly, but any defender from outside of the Premier League, I think there is a bit of a risk with. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the best you can get.
Would you? I know it's a different level of quality, but would you have said the same thing about Thiago Silva when he was joining us?
Well, right. So we were in for Koulibaly. We were in for. I think when Koulibaly, Koundé, and then we got Diaz, right? Diaz worked, but before that, Mangala didn't work. Before that, Otamendi took quite a few seasons before it started working. Demichelis hit. So it's just my opinion with players we've bought in the past. Once bitten, twice shy. I'd rather get a Premier League experienced player. Like for me,
John Stones?
No, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. Very fair point. But when we were being linked with Koundé, Koulibaly, it got to a point where I was like, fuck it, just go and buy Johnny Evans. For now, just go and buy fucking Johnny Evans and give us someone.
Koulibaly's a Johnny Evans.
Bro, no, you know what it was? Because it was a bit different with us and you lot. Our negotiations with Napoli were not smooth like this. Us and
No. We've tried to get Koulibaly for years. They're a pain in the arse to deal with. I get you.
Well, but I said this earlier, to be fair, yeah. Your owner and your negotiator so far seems to be getting things wrapped up quite quickly. I don't know if he's like Sterling wrapped up, done. Before that was announced, the Koulibaly one was being wrapped up. So I was like, because we were looking for the Lewandowski rumours earlier, and there's not much bubbling around about it at the moment. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's not just going to go boom and get done 2-3 days later, because it feels like your owner's putting all his effort into one. The minute that's done, on to the next one. Done, on to the next one. Unlike he's doing it completely different to Man United, to be frank with you.
We couldn't get worse.
Koulibaly, for me, if you're going to take a risk on a foreign defender, he's one of the best foreign defenders you want to take a risk on. 100%. And he's probably one of the more equipped for the Premier League as well, actually. Quite physical.
That's the thing, because he can play out the back. His reading of the game's excellent.
When United doing the right thing, actually. They know that in one sense, because that's the weakest point in their team, and they need a midfielder.
Yeah, the weakest point's a DM. Weakest point's a DM.
It's not about the DM specifically. It's about the players that plays with each other, with each other. And I think De Jong is exactly the player that Man United wants.
Oh, I agree with you, bro.
There's not
that
a lot
the speed it's taken to get it done.
Well, because it's a freaking Barcelona. Look at even.
Yeah, very true.
They spend the money that they don't have, so everything is. There's such a big problem with the young situation. I'm not blaming Manchester United on it. I'm actually put more on Barcelona. But if we pull through it, if they will pull through it and get De Jong, Man United is going to be a threat, no matter what. You'll see.
To you lot, maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm not saying that's the only. I'm not saying that's the only signing that they need, but that's a massive.
Oh yeah, don't make him a threat though.
No chance.
I'm not saying the threat winning Championship League or Premier League. It's gonna make him a threat in every game based on how we're gonna progress from that.
Okay. I mean that. Yeah, Tottenham.
By the way, I'm assuming you're a City fan. You ain't winning the league this season.
Okay, we're not winning the league. That's fine as well. As long as we get top 4, I'm good, bro.
That's.
I'll be real.
What you saying what confuses me about what you said about the defender. I'm okay with it. I'm actually agree with you. There is a slight worrying about how we're gonna come to different league.
Mm-hmm.
But Manchester City made a dramatic change from what Pep's teams used to be by bringing Haaland.
Right.
That's why, because it's a
I didn't say why, but I don't really get what that point is.
Okay,
I haven't
I'm
spoken on my
bringing your
club
point.
yet. No, because I was talking on centre backs, and you're now talking.
No. I'm talking about the brilliant player. You're saying about the risks. I agree with risk on the defense. I'm with you on that.
But we're taking risk as well. But I wasn't saying we haven't taken any risks. I'm just talking about that.
I'm not saying it's a bad way. I'm saying it's actually Manchester City took another risk that they usually go away. I usually don't see Pep going away, taking those risks. Does that make sense? I never saw
especially
Pep
on what he doesn't want. I don't think this is necessarily what Pep even wants to be.
Could be. That's my question. Is it the Pep's decision or the club decision? Is that the first time we see a club making a decision over Pep? Because
or maybe the second.
You see what I'm saying? So my question is, it's not about the Haaland. I think Haaland will do it. I just don't see with Pep, because how it's for me Haaland is it's the signing that they made with what's his name from
Grealish.
Not Grealish. I think Grealish will be good. That's not the problem.
Same.
Because they usually take a season before Pep's players kick in.
Especially that role.
Especially that role, exactly. Yeah. What's the name that Pep in Barcelona used to?
Zlatan. Was it
Zlatan?
Zlatan.
Yeah. He did not do well with Lewandowski. In the Bayern, in the beginning, he did not even do good with Aguero in the beginning. There's what's his name? Arsenal forward that went Thierry Henry when he went to Barcelona. There's a specific
It's a bit
forward.
more of a Pep than was maybe
it's
a bit more,
over
but
Pep.
still,
So
me, I think I heard rumors before we signed him.
That's what I'm trying to
Pep
connect it with. Defense, Chelsea taking the risk. Manchester City taking the risk in our department.
I agree with you. I thought you were saying you don't understand why I'm saying that. I agree. We have taken a risk. We have taken a risk, and I did read before the Haaland thing kind of really got legs that Pep was a bit on it. And
you know why I actually think? Because I think with all the players that City have, Sterling was actually the one that could be better with Haaland than any other ones. You see what I'm saying? So,
listen,
by the way, he brought
statistically
him,
proven.
He brought him, and he got the best player that can actually match the guy out. So now. I can't wait.
Here's my thoughts. So, firstly, I did hear that Pep was a bit like that over the Haaland thing. I'm sure there was a lot of conversations between Pep and all of his boys from Barcelona over it, and to agree to get it over the line. I think the Grealish one, although I think the Grealish one will work eventually, I do think there was an element of the commercial side in it. And the same with this one. I do think there's an element of the commercial side in it. I actually think Alvarez is more of a Pep signing than Haaland is. But the one thing I would say is, if you go back to, and this is why I think maybe Sterling has been allowed to go. I think, firstly, the fact is we've been trying to give him a contract for 2 years and he hasn't signed it, right? And I always said he's going to play the field this summer. He might end up signing a new contract at City, but at very least he's going to go out and see what there is there. And that's why Chelsea kind of makes sense, that it's round about the same money, because he's not going to Arsenal where he's not getting Champions League football. He's going to Chelsea where, all right, you might not be challenging right now, but you are still Champions League football and consistently getting to the latter stages, right? Which is something Sterling hasn't won yet. Yeah. So it makes sense. Back to London, that makes sense. From a City point of view, if I go back to when we had Aguero and Jesus, and we played Aguero and Jesus together, 2 strikers, right? We then also had Mendy, and that was when Mendy was fit, right? Left back, last actual left back that held width.
Mm-hmm.
He would never ever play, and it confused City fans. Were like, why are we not getting to see Mendy and Sane together down the left? He would never play 2 wide players, and it was this weird thing. But it was like too much width. Don't want to. Mendy does the overlap too much. We can't have Sane. Who's Mendy going to overlap if Sane's hugging the line? And he never would play there. So I'm kind of looking at it, thinking, all right, Sterling won't sign the contract. We're going to get better money this summer than you probably ever would for someone with 1 year left on his contract. I don't think it's a case of we don't want Sterling no more. I do think, like I said, if Sterling stayed, I think he would have got back to his numbers that he was getting when he was playing alongside Aguero, because that is how you get Sterling's numbers. Mm-hmm. But I think overall it was like, if we hold on to him, is he going to play enough games?
No. You did the right thing by selling. Thing by selling. I just think he's the one that pushed for the sale, not the City.
100%, 1,000,000%. By not signing the contract, he did that.
Yeah.
Look, me and Lewis are on the same page, right? And I went back and looked at Sterling's numbers over the last 5 years under Pep, right? Goals and assists. And I although I looked at the numbers, I also did them per 90, because I think per 90 gives you a better reflection. And his best 3 seasons were all when he was playing alongside Aguero, who's getting like goals, 0.6 goals per 90. Assists weren't that far behind it as well. So last season Aguero was injured pretty much the whole season. Season before last, and last season Aguero wasn't there. His numbers almost halved, right, per 90. So you're right. If we kept Haaland and he played, I would imagine his numbers would go back up, because this is the thing. I had this massive argument with a Liverpool fan yesterday that was saying Sterling is our most important player, and I was like, bro, you're basing that on GA. You can't just do that, because like it's not fair to do that.
Stats, I can tell you based on
it's
City.
Relevant, but
I can tell you based on City, Chelsea is in the mud by just signing only Sterling, because it's still same thing. Problem will be if you don't we don't have that reference.
We know what we need.
But,
there we go. Because ultimately, what you're looking at the moment, if you playing with Havertz,
fuck you.
Then ultimately it's like City for the last 2 years when you're playing with De Bruyne through the middle or Foden through the middle. You're not playing with and
or
this is the
Jesus.
Thing.
Jesus.
This Liverpool fan was saying to me, right, that basically he was I can't remember, it might have been Kovacic or someone pinging balls over the top for Sterling to run onto. I was like, oh, is that what you think Sterling's quality is? He's like, yeah, his pace running onto balls. I said, listen, if Sterling threw on goal on a 1-on-1, he scores 1 out of 10. And he was like, no, Sterling scores 7. I go, no, I'm not saying scores 1 out of 10 chances. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying through on goal. Through on goal, overthinks it, tries to take it round the keeper, pass it and shoot, and falls over himself, right? But where he will score is when you're overloading the box and strikers are making runs, Chilwell and Reece are making runs, and defenders are having to follow runners. Everyone's going that way. Sterling will go 1 step back. Space, boom. And that's how he scores, because he's clever and he'll listen to Tuchel. That is what you get with Sterling. But people see that he's fast and just think, yeah, pace merchant, put him through on goal, bang. That's not Sterling. You get Lewandowski. Yeah, you get Lewandowski. He goes from.
That's where the Werner 2.0 comparisons come from.
Exactly.
But not as a player, though. I still think it's disrespectful.
I just don't think if Chelsea does not sign the player for Sterling is going to be a scapegoat. And that's the biggest problem will be.
Yeah, I am anticipating.
That's why I'm saying Ronaldo. If Cristiano Ronaldo will be at Chelsea, those numbers.
Not Broja, definitely not Broja, because I don't really see much of Broja.
Too young. I don't want to.
I hear that.
Kill him before he made it. So
please remember to do that with Haaland as well. Remember, Haaland's young, so don't kill him too soon as well, please.
No, I wouldn't say that, but let's be real. Coming from the Bundesliga,
he's not my player. I will kill him immediately. But
no, but I expect him to start slow anyway.
Yeah. Do you know the other thing? The pace is relevant with Sterling, right? But it's not running on to balls. Where Sterling, if you look, when he was getting his best numbers, right, what Sterling was doing very, very regular was little 1-2s with David Silva, right, on the edge of the box and into the box. Acceleration, them accelerations onto balls to get past defenders. Then he was either shooting or he's cutting it back for someone else. That's what you get with Sterling. It's not the running one-on-one with goal. You don't want that. He's a good signing. He's a 7 out of 10. You get a striker, he's a 9 out of 10 signing.
Look, it's up for Chelsea topic. My point for Chelsea Football Club, I know we all want director signing, but since Tuchel is good in defensive structure, I would like Chelsea to sign offensive coach, like an NFL, like somebody to create the patterns, because I see City play with the patterns up top. I don't see Chelsea play with the patterns. I don't see 1-2. I see what you're saying about Sterling playing 1-2s and 2-3 touches, and they're already in an offensive position to shoot. Chelsea doesn't have that. I think Tuchel is
very relaxed when it comes to the attacking thirds.
You lot don't think that Chilwell will have a good link up with Sterling?
No, we're gonna play on opposite side.
Yeah.
No, man.
More chances. But
you think what? You think Sterling's gonna play on the right?
I think Reece James is gonna play. I think Sterling is gonna play on the right. Well, Reece James more than anybody.
His best position is on the right, to be fair.
Because first of all, Sterling gonna need somebody cover back defensively, and Reece James, because Sterling, as good as he is, he's good defensively sometimes, but you still have to have a cover for such an offensive player.
You do, but he gets back. Trust me, he gets underrated.
No, I know he gets back.
Yeah.
But directness of him, every time he's gonna get the ball, he's gonna look to go direct against the opposition. So if he's such a player, you have to have somebody as good and how you say it? How is that word in English? That stays on always in the head. Like, don't forget the position. Don't forget the position.
To be fair, you're probably the best team for fullbacks to have that with Chilwell and James. Yeah, they're probably the two best.
Well, I think James is better defensively than Chilwell. Well, better and forward and backwards.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of Chilwell still.
Yeah, I like Chilwell more as a left back than wing back, but
look, Sterling, you're getting. It's interesting that you said about the scapegoat thing. I can see that, but I think the offensive side, because one thing Pep said to City before is, like, the main things he can teach them is the press. One of the main things he said, I think Sterling is, look, you're going to win the ball back. Whether you run 5 yards forward and win it back, or you run 100 yards back chasing someone, you're winning the ball back. So you're doing one of the two. Otherwise, like Sane, you're getting dragged, right? And he said, I can teach you about ball retention. Once you get into the final third, I can't teach you. You're professional footballers. And I just feel, I think you lot need to cut your losses on playing Havertz in that position and drop him deeper. For me, straight away, I think that could help.
That's what I'm saying. We need center forward.
You do,
Chelsea
especially
fans
with Sterling.
Yeah, Chelsea fans don't. I don't care if Lewandowski. It's not. First of all, there is not a big market on center forward because you took the best one that was available.
What about Felix?
Who?
Felix.
He's not a center forward for me.
No,
he's
not,
like
yeah,
Kai Havertz.
He's
the same thing. Like off the forward. He's 10, not 9.
Would you said that before he went to Atletico? Or if they changed it?
Yeah, I actually proved more on Atletico that he's not proper number 9.
Griezmann would have been the ideal player if you guys are trying to find that player.
I tell you what, at this point, I will take what's his name, ex-Liverpool player, for free. Suarez as a backup.
Wow.
What the hell? It's still better than
Played
nobody.
with Sterling before, as well. Played with Sterling before as well.
He's getting on too.
I know he is.
Hold on, no, bro. That whole thing was with you lot.
Yeah. But the whole thing with Suarez, if Chelsea fans are just true to themselves and saying that we are playing possession-based football, That means that you don't have to be running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that means that your forwards are not going to make that much run.
Suarez is a PR nightmare. You're not going to go near Suarez.
Especially with Chelsea.
Proper Chelsea. Proper Chelsea. We all love
look,
Look, no, what you're missing the point.
How many numbers you
It's
looking
not
at
about the
Sterling again?
Suarez in particular.
Depends
it's
on
about
who's
the
around him.
position in the market.
Yeah.
Because if we get a number 9, then yeah, his numbers are going to be crazy. If not, like I think it would still be good comparing to the numbers of the rest of the squad, but it will drop.
Give me a second. I'll get the numbers for you.
I've seen Suarez. He's got 13. He's got 13 goals and 3 assists last season in all competitions.
And this is the counter-attacking team. This is the counter-attacking team, Atletico Madrid. That means the guy's running like a motherfucker.
The season before, he got 21 goals and 3 assists. So that was a considerable drop.
You don't think we need a creator?
Yeah.
We need a goal scorer more than a creator.
But I think Havertz can be a creator if you play him
yeah,
in the right
put
position.
Havertz back and then get Lewandowski, and to me, that's our front three. Or Mason Mount in there over Havertz.
For
One or
me,
the other.
It's either Lewandowski or Cristiano. The both, I think. But if we cannot get those,
here we go.
Even Suarez would do it.
What about Cavani?
Actually, what's the guy from Dortmund?
Not bad shout, Cavani.
Brentford, Ivan Toney.
No.
The problem with Ivan Toney.
Okay, you're heavy against Tony. Why is that?
No, I think he's like
so
Lukaku.
Let Arsenal overrate him. I just think he's overrated, man. Massively overrated.
I agree with Louisville
Why don't we
Games.
just sign what
Africans
the
pass the ball like you would
Wood?
want from a creator.
Let's do that,
Yeah.
He's not
Oh,
that
God,
good.
Everyone wants
live in my
Chris's
bed.
Wood, don't they?
Yeah.
Would you not take Tamaka?
Who? Skamaka, ain't he going PSG?
He's going West Ham.
Linked to West Ham.
West Ham?
Yeah, that's why the story said Broha and West Ham have died down.
Do you know what? Here's the
Fucking
thing.
hell.
Here's the
Well
thing.
done.
You're starting to throw names about that. I feel with the signings you're making, don't drop to that level. You're starting to hunt for names. Like Chelsea shouldn't need to be hunting for names the way we're right now hunting for names. Can I just ask you a question? When Hudson-Odoi's back, is he going to get a sniff in it? Right, so that's it.
He's back, man.
Hudson-Odoi's got to go on loan.
He's a backup.
Let him go on loan. He should have gone on loan last season, and we held him back to right wing back.
Lucy shaved his head, so he's ready.
Oh, true. Yeah, there was.
I'm not here for this shaved head.
What about
Kai Havertz tried it, and he was still shit.
What about Wolves forward?
This is what I love about your fan base. You're so split on every player. Every player.
Yeah, it's all just player stands and player agendas beefing against each other. But
what's that Wolves forward? What's that Wolves forward's name?
Let's talk about
Neto.
Neto, long term, Neto would be a sensational shout.
Neto was
long-term.
crazy during
Neto was
lockdown.
before he got injured. Neto was a baller. I actually think we're doing a show. We were going to do it late. We've moved it where we're talking about 2 players that potentially have solid seasons. I think Neto's one to watch because before he got injured, he was flying. I think he's only like 19 or something, isn't he? But
Yeah, he did have a quiet season this year, though. I'm not sure if it was just a return from
He was pretty much, he was proper injured.
No, but I thought he returned
not
back
proper
to
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
proper injured. Yeah, he was back,
hell.
but
You know it's bad when City start using proper Chelsea term. You know that.
Mate, the term just cracks me up. It sounds proper Chelsea.
This is ridiculous, but
do you not think that Grealish makes the numbers that Sterling
only
makes?
been around 18 months.
I think he's a completely different player, and you shouldn't be comparing them.
By the way,
yeah, but I also think
like
Grealish breaks out this season. Everyone always takes a year to get into Guardiola's system as a minimum, so I expect the same with
Haaland
Grealish.
as well. With Haaland coming, all of a sudden that £100 million price tag, everyone. I'm not saying everyone will forget it, but the spotlight. Like all people, every other fan base, all they want to see is Haaland fail.
Big up, Gem.
So they're going to be watching Grealish to see what Grealish is up to. I think Grealish is going to, this season for me, with City, Grealish or Foden, Pep's going to make a decision which one of them's dropping deeper. Possibly
Can
both of
Foden
them.
play after right?
Yeah.
So why is that the one versus
That's a
another?
shout, though. This is the thing. When people say to me, do I think with Sterling and Jesus going, do I think and I can tell you now, right, we've got Foden and Grealish who can both play on the left. We also have Bernardo Silva who can play on the left, and also De Bruyne can play on the left, right? But I actually don't think we're going to play that way. I think we're going to play with Cucurella overlapping on the left. On the right, we've got Mahrez. Foden can play on the right. Again, Bernardo Silva can play on the right. Cole Palmer can play on the right. And also Alvarez can play on the right. So I think that's partly why we've let two players that we've seen as wide players go, because I do think on the left we're going to change the way we play down that side anyway. I honestly
think you're going to play more direct than people think with the new forward. You're going to play more direct.
Well, last season, it was straight the maddest game to pick it. But
so that's interesting for me.
Well, go and watch the Liverpool game, the second Liverpool game last season, where out of nowhere, we were playing mad direct. It was like weird, out of nowhere. We kept playing balls over the top for Jesus to run onto. And
is it your initiative? Is it because of City, or is it because so hard pressed by club?
I think it was clever. I think it was, but I do think I wasn't convinced on Calvin Phillips, because when you've got a player like Rodri in a system like City's, and this isn't against Calvin Phillips, but if you've got a player that is so suited to a system, and then you bring a player in, I don't want to compare Calvin Phillips to Rodwell, but when we signed Rodwell, when we had, I think, De Jong at the time, it was like, do you really think you're going to come in and get in over him, or are you coming just for a payday and sit on the bench? So that was kind of initially how I saw the Calvin Phillips thing. Then I remembered, hold on, we're not looking for a Rodri like we're looking for Fernandinho replacement, which is more breakup play. But then the other thing that makes sense is Calvin Phillips long balls over the top are sensational. That's what Haaland thrives on. So it does make sense that, okay, we could be playing, and even if we're not playing it, it's good that now we have that, because certain teams that we struggled to break down last season, if we had Haaland, we probably would have won. So,
well, if you here's what I'm not gonna bash on Haaland next season. I'll bash on Pep for Haaland's failure, because those two don't match. So I know from the beginning those two don't match. So I wanted Haaland, and when people said that Haaland is the same as Lukaku, it's just poor stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
So if those do not work out next season, it will not be on Haaland. It will be more on Pep's system. That's it. I just don't think he's kind of player. It depends how he's gonna. If he's gonna change, which I don't think he is, because Pep is stubborn, bold fuck.
Do you know,
he's not changing anything for anybody.
Do you know, there was one thing that I was saying, probably up until March, right. And when it was finally confirmed that we were getting, I had it confirmed to me we had Haaland sorted by, I think it was March the 22nd. Probably by about February, I started buying into the Haaland thing properly. And I'll be honest, even now, I am looking forward to seeing Haaland. I'm more looking forward to seeing Alvarez, right? I was excited with the Haaland shithousery. That's all I wanted to see. The fact that he's come out and said I'm a City fan. That's what I wanted to see. I'm more looking forward to Alvarez. But my initial concerns, like the start of last season when it's being linked with him, was I was worried that I look at games like Liverpool, home and away. I think probably Chelsea home and away. Probably Man United, definitely Man United, because I remember the team we played. And the teams where we played with Gundogan, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and then Kevin De Bruyne in the false nine, or Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva switching in the false nine. And the reason why they work against big clubs and clubs that are good is that you have to dominate the midfield. If you don't dominate the midfield against certain clubs, people say, oh, but we'll outscore them. Well, you won't, because you won't get the chances because you're not dominating the midfield. And that was always my argument to City people about, get Haaland, we just outscore everyone.
Yeah.
And my worry was, if we go and buy Haaland, when it gets to these big games and we go, you know what, we need to revert to the false nine, so you're going to hold bench, that Haaland's not going to be cool with holding bench. And I'm not going to say Pep is going to do that, but he created the false nine with Messi, right? It works for him. It's worked for him in history. It's worked for him the last two seasons at City.
He'll push Haaland wide. That's what I think is going to happen. He'll push Haaland wide and use the space.
Or potentially see him as a winger.
That's a fair point. Well,
not a winger,
but like Jesus played.
Or wide forward.
No. For example, in transition. For example, if it's a tight space and they try to break the low block, he'll push him a little bit wider, and what Alvarez is going to play through the middle, because people are going to think that ball going to Haaland, but it's not. one thing I can see, because he's young. Haaland is young, and people saw him what he did in specific teams, right? But if Pep can turn him into the technical masterpiece that he actually good, that nobody saw it, because technically we didn't see him for long. We saw what he did with other teams. We never see him in the possession team ball. If he can do it, then it's not much. With what's his name? What's the name? He doesn't have to improve much. Only a couple of things that if he has in his bank, I think he's gonna do well. But
I think that World Cup period will suit Haaland a lot, because Norway.
My worry about him is actually injuries, because all of a sudden an ankle it became fragile.
Oh, that's a great graphic.
Yeah, sorry, it's got never foul on it, but I just grabbed it to show you it.
Nothing wrong with that. Again, guys, links in the description as well, so like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But yeah,
this is ultimately this is Sterling's numbers. So the blue numbers are his best seasons for goals and assists. Now, people don't speak on Sterling's assists as well, by the way, but his assists are pretty decent as well.
Yeah, they act like all he can do is just dribble and stuff.
Well,
no, he's creative.
Well,
and can finish with a number 9.
You can't hold down, and also. Look at the number of games he's played every single season. Even people say last season we played him less. He played 47 games last season. Right.
Lewis, can you bring me El Shanoy comment for me, please?
Yeah,
Alex,
go for it. Alex got to drop.
You can look at that, and it's very clear. When he was playing alongside Aguero, look at his numbers. Then look at his numbers when he's been playing kind of alongside someone in the false 9.
Go get your virginity sort that out, El Shanoy, before you talk to me again.
There we go. Oh, good.
God bless the comment.
Alex versus the comment section is the greatest rivalry on this channel.
That was very PG of you, Alex. Very PG.
I try to be nice for the new people.
Do you know the good thing with these stats is sometimes you think something in your head, then you pull up the stats, you're like, I was completely wrong. But I don't usually go away and look at stats, but I thought I need this because I need to understand that I was right, that Sterling needs a number 9. And he does, man. He does.
Exactly.
I do think you'll get one, though.
That's why we need to stop fucking milking this thing that we need a creator first and foremost. No, the first thing we need is someone who is a responsible goal scorer. It's as simple as that.
Because you've got a creator in Havertz, yeah, and you're trying to make him a goal scorer. No.
And this is the thing. It's like, I don't want to see this guy as a number 9 for another season. He's not a good finisher. Put him in a position where he can create chances. Broja, like, the jury's out on him. He's only had 1 year's experience, and he kind of dropped off towards the end of last season. Exactly. He's not really ready, so we can't rely on him.
You don't want to kill his confidence at such a young age.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm sorry. You're not... Look, we've seen from the last couple of days, you're not scraping the bottom of the barrel for money. Yeah,
we're not
like, we need to make Broja... Yeah, I was going to use Arsenal, to be fair, but go and get a striker, man. Like, just go and get a striker. Go and get...
It's not a good market for strikers.
Oh, I agree.
Tuchel said first and foremost he's looking for centre-back, so that's fine. Get the centre-back. And I've already said with the Lewandowski situation, it's better for us that we don't move now. Let Barcelona play their hand first, and if they don't, then we can go in because he's burned his bridges there. So I don't mind us waiting on it, but we do need to get a striker in before the start of the season, 100%. Because otherwise, we're not winning anything anyway, but we are going to make things very hard for ourselves.
Do you know what? I'll put it out there. Someone on the stream the other day, obviously, being a City fan, yeah, any stream that I'm on, so you can remove that whenever you want now, or you can leave it up if you want to look at it. But being a City fan, obviously, any stream I'm on, people will come for me about Champions League, right? And straight away, if I'm talking on Chelsea, people think I'm talking bad on Chelsea. I'm not. Like I was saying, we don't know how Chelsea's new owners are going to act. People are thinking I'm slandering them. I'm not. I'm saying we don't know. That's it. Like, by the looks of it, we kind of are now getting the idea that maybe, but at the point we didn't know. But people always come to me about the Champions League. And this one Chelsea fan was saying, what makes you say Chelsea can't win the Champions League this season? I was like, I didn't. At no point have I said that. My reason why City have struggled to win the Champions League is because we've never won it. And because we've been in it for 12 years, right? That's it. For me,
Pep overthinking Chelsea's
final. Now, look. There is no pressure on. Strangely enough, the reason why you won the Champions League over us was a player that you lot have just bought. He was dog shit. He never should have been in that. No, he was awful. You're going to say Fernandinho
okay,
not playing,
okay,
but
okay.
Sterling was awful.
You conceded because of Pep. You did not score because of Sterling.
Yeah. He was just not in the game. But for us, it's like I've said it on Tottenham. I think the best thing Tottenham could do this season is, all right, I get they don't want to go out of the Champions League in group stages, and I get they want bragging rights to say we're in the Champions League.
The threatened they are.
The longer they stay in that tournament, right, the worthless it is. Because we all saw when they got to the final against Liverpool, they got there and they didn't look like they wanted to win it. You've got a manager that has no history of winning it, right? And your club has no history of winning it. We've got a manager that has won it, and we still don't look quite. We're getting there, but you need to win your first one. So for me, I would never rule Chelsea out now of winning a Champions League, because you know how to do it.
Because we're more of a cup team, in all honesty. It's in the league.
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say that.
I don't think that.
Hate me, bro.
We
no.
It's
It's not
every
because
final except the Champions League last season.
I'll blame only one person. That's the reason why we don't win in the Premier League.
I think last season we were a cup team last season.
Fair enough.
That's not me. But should we talk on Ake quick as well? Do you?
Yeah. I did want to get on Ake before the end of this, because there's a lot of fans that are looking at this I was going in for Ake, and they're saying we're downgrading, we're getting City scraps and everything like that. But from what I hear from most City accounts, you guys don't necessarily want to keep Ake, and you see him as good depth for the squad.
Right, end of last season, a lot of City fans were saying when we had a lot of injuries, people were confused at why Ake wasn't starting, because it was like, all right. When he joined us, it's been at us 2 years.
I think so. Yeah,
3
I think
seasons
it's 2.
Is it 3? When he joined us, he had this real bad thing hanging over him that he seemed to be playing in games that we lost. Yeah, but on our City channel, I was regularly saying, like the Leicester game, for example. But I'm like, no. Mendy was at fucking fault there. And then you could look at who was partnering. And it was never... I could always say, I'm looking at the game and I'm struggling to see where Ake made a mistake, right? I get that he seems to always be in the team, but I'm not seeing the Ake mistakes. I'm seeing other mistakes, and he happens to be in the team. It's hard when you are a player, when you join a team, yeah, and you're not playing consistently. We have to be very clear with that in any position. But last season, he went through some... I think he lost his dad. After Pep came out and backed him, Ake all of a sudden became a very... Whenever he played, he never made a mistake. He was good. For me, he's a perfect... I'm not throwing shade on you, I promise you. He's a perfect fourth choice centre-back. We're blessed with centre-backs. John Stones at last has looked what we thought he might be. Laporte's a very good left-sided centre-back, and Diaz is a very good right-sided centre-back. We don't want to sell Ake. Ake also can play left-back if need be. He's probably the perfect player for a back three, if you play a back three.
But like the left centre-back, potential wing-back role. I'm not so sure about wing-back. I don't know if you've seen him going forward, if he could offer anything in that regard.
He's a good defensive midfielder.
I would rather have Chilwell
Dabs, I was going to ask you about that.
Man.
Have you seen Ake play a defensive mid before? I don't know if that's a thing.
I saw him play at the
I heard it at Chelsea.
And at Chelsea.
Yeah,
Well,
Chelsea, that's
when
when I
he
heard
came
it. But
City.
since
when
then,
he came City, I heard it.
I just don't
that
see
he
him
played that
there.
well.
Yeah.
He's
I'll be
actually
honest, he
played
doesn't-
when what's his name? David Luiz. Same way.
Look, I don't think he offers that much moving forward, but you know what? I do think there's a relevance in the players you're buying from City, and people can say, "Oh, they're City rejects." But the one thing I'll say with that is, if you look at City players, you could probably Wikipedia any City player now and look at any season, and the number of games pretty much any City player plays is going to be over 25, 30 games, right? Because when you're in so many competitions, you can't really tell me City's starting 11. You can tell me probably 4 or 5 at best. But the one thing is, they have got into the mentality of winning trophies. They do know how to play system football. And City only sign players with a certain mentality as well. Like they really deep the mentality thing. I think Jesus is a prime example. A young Brazilian that's come to England, never really been a starter, and you've never heard him moan. Listen, if Richarlison has to hold bench too much next season, I guarantee you he's fucking causing issues at Tottenham. right? I guarantee you. And that's why I think the same with Rafinha as well. If you lot would have got Rafinha, I think Rafinha you've dodged a bullet with and I compare it to Tielemans and Arsenal. You see when players push for moves too much and all they're on and as for Rafinha, he don't know where he wants to go. I think deep down he wanted to play for Liverpool like a year ago. But I don't want players that are trying to play for every club and changing their opinion. I think you've dodged a bullet with Rafinha.
Oh, definitely. Because he was treating us like we were Brentford. It's like I get Barca can be your dream club, but like the way he was going about, it's like, yeah, save me from going to fucking Championship side Chelsea. Like it was all long to me. But this is what I was also saying about with you guys' depth. Like, yeah, people are saying we're getting City scraps and everything like that, but you have a high quality squad. Not just first 11. Even the bench. I've said, look at Man City's bench at any one point and tell me there isn't 3 or 4 players in that squad that would walk straight into our team. Straight into our team and start.
Maybe not the very end of last season. We were battered, but yeah, predominantly most of the time.
Yeah, but like this is why I'm not looking at the likes of Ake and Sterling and thinking, oh, we're better than them or anything. Like I do think they can come and provide a considerable role to the club. Even Ake's likely coming in probably to just be squad depth for Chelsea as well, because we're hearing the main back three Tuchel wants is Kimpembe, Koulibaly, and Thiago Silva at the back, and it's probably going to be Caliber and Ake competing. Yeah, so we're getting 3 centre backs.
God damn.
Rudiger's gone, AC's gone, Aspi is likely leaving, and potentially Alonso as well.
Thiago
so
I can't see Aspi. If Aspi stay, I can't see him start next season.
He shouldn't do as well.
He did start this past season.
He wouldn't start. He wouldn't start.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with Walker. I think if Cucurella comes, which I think from the links today with Zinchenko to Arsenal, for me that just confirms Cucurella's coming. When Cucurella comes, I think City will switch Cancelo back to the right, and I think Walker will start playing less because it gets to a point like how old's Azpilicueta?
He's like 33.
As a fullback, man,
and he's majorly declined. Like respectfully, love Aspi, legend, everything like that, but he's clearly declined in the last year.
Yeah. But it's very similar to Zabaleta with us. Very similar with Zabaleta for us. 1 minute it was great, next minute it was like, nah, you're not like Pep's first season.
It's like once they hit like a big target or something, like Ivanovic when he won 14-15 fell off a cliff immediately afterwards. As he got the Champions League, fell off the cliff.
That's one of the most demanding
100%
positions.
it is, yeah. And the thing is, it depends how you play it as well. And like when you, even Walker, for example, Walker. I made a comment the other day that I felt that Walker is slowly starting to be less fit, and someone goes, "Really?" And I go, "I don't know." Again, this is an off the cuff comment. Let me go and look at it. Over the last 4 seasons, he's dropping 4 to 5 games a season, right? Which is relevant because his whether it be his recovery time, whether it be that he's picking up injuries more, that when you're a fullback and you're up and down the pitch, you're gonna it's gonna wear on you. And the way you lot play, sorry, Reece James or Azpilicueta, it's not debatable, is it? Come on,
no, it's not. No.
And I like Aspi as well, but it's like every aspect of his game has gone down.
He's not a wing back.
Even
so many City players I liked, but when it gets to a point when they need to go, because ultimately, like, spread your wings and fly, give them a free and let them go and earn some money elsewhere. Respect to them. You're a club legend, but you know what? It's time for you to go. Otherwise, you're going to be
but you know what
bench,
football fans are like. They only live based off emotion, and when it's a club favorite, they don't want to get rid of them. That's like everyone in the comment section knows my opinion on N'Golo Kante, and I spend half my streams beefing with them because I'm like, respectfully, the guy's past it, and we can keep him in a rotation role and maybe get the best out of him in certain games. But if you think he's going to start game in and game out and be the same N'Golo Kante, you're deluded. But people don't want to have.
Do you think he's past it? Fully past it now?
Not fully past it. Like that's a bit harsh. I think if you can get him on a rotation contract and like just lower his responsibility in the squad, save him for open games like Man City, for example, where you guys would attack and you would give him plenty of situations to break up play, as opposed to a team that sits deep and plays a low block and Kante has nothing to do except play on the ball and his passing isn't good. That's where you could get the best out of him. Yeah. If you rely on him game in and game out, he will continuously get injured because his style of play is too intense. He's continuing to rack up injuries and only get worse.
Mode. That's what he's on.
What manager was it that started pushing him too far forward?
Sorry.
It was Sarri and Conte. Sarri and Conte overplayed him to death, and he just has.
They were playing him. They were trying to play him like almost like
that was
like,
Sarri.
Way too far forward.
An attacking 8. Yeah.
But, and this is the thing. This is the thing is at City though, and Liverpool had the same thing. When Laporte and company were both injured, I think it was at City, and when Liverpool had Van Dijk and Gomez injured, both of us did the same thing. We took Fabinho and Fernandinho and put them in defence. Now, both of them actually did a job in defence, but that's not the issue. You're taking a fucking world-class player out of their position, right? So now...
No, but here's the thing. Kante
and the
was...
same with Kante.
No, but I said that whole thing was sorry. Like, Kante, he played Kante in his actual position of centre mid. Like, he always did play centre mid. And people always say he's a DM, and he never was a DM for us or for Leicester City or back in France or anything like that. The problem was we dominated possession a lot more with Maurizio Sarri, probably more than we've done with every manager before or afterwards. And because of that, his breakup play is going to go down because we have the majority of possession, and he's going to get the majority of touches in the opposition half because we're dominating possession. So people said Sarri was playing him out of position. No, we just changed the way that we were playing. We went from being more defensive and sitting deep to playing more further forward and dominating possession more.
You were asking a mainly defensive player to start doing more attacking, and that's not his game.
That was the whole thing,
No, but he was always good at ball progression. It was just more his final ball, really.
Ball progression's
Do you know?
fine, but he's got no pass.
I've got so many questions for you lot. Now. Like it's good to. I always say I love podcasts because you learn stuff. But I need to ask you a few questions. Firstly, Conor Gallagher. What's happening? What's going to happen?
Just thinking about him.
He's a big question. Yeah, go ahead.
It's another question. It's another one where pre-season will show it, but I think Tuchel sounded so confident on him towards the back end of last season that he's probably going to be in the squad for next season, regardless. Unless
you think you'll keep him?
Yeah, he likes him. He likes him. I just don't know where he's going to play, but he likes him.
It's hard because when you look at your midfield, I know you've got one or two that are maybe aging, but your midfield
gonna be
is very.
Kante. He's going to be
Someone said
Kante.
the other day about you lot going in for a midfielder, not a creative.
Yeah,
midfielder.
we have
When
a
you
fraud
look at
in our
it,
team,
fucking
but
hell,
that
bro.
he's not the one.
All right, next one, Billy Gilmore.
He doesn't want to go on loan. He doesn't want to go on loan, so you could see him in the squad again.
I can
for
see
this
why
season.
after the treatment at Norwich, I wouldn't want to go on loan neither.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. We need depth for Jorginho anyway. We didn't have any last season, and we overplayed him to death. Gilmore, to me, can be that depth. So keep him in, and you can rotate between the pair of them.
Okay. And what was the last one? There was one more question I had.
No questions
Billy
about
Gilmore.
Jorginho? You don't want him? Pep used to want him.
Well, we wanted him badly. You know what? And when we didn't get, him, do you know who we were linked with? We were linked with two players when we didn't get him the same summer. If you look at Pep's, do you know who we wanted? You can look at it, right? Firstly, it was Fred. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then United took the jump on him. So then it was Jorginho. Then you bastards got him. He would have suited City perfectly. And then we got linked with two players the same summer, but Pep said, no, they're not what I want. Højbjerg and Kovacic. And you got Kovacic the same summer. So two of the players that we were being linked with, you went and got both of them. And then it was the next summer we got Rodri. But for me,
And both
right
of those
now,
players in your midfield would be fucking ridiculous.
For me, your best
Especially
player right
Kovacic.
now. I love Reece James, and I think Chilwell's very good. For me, Kovacic is a fucking baller, man. I came to the Chelsea Villa game at home, the one where he got the ball with his facing your goal. He got the ball in a very I think he had two man on him. He literally turned two man and instantly fizzed one pass through to Lukaku. It was just some of the best.
And Lukaku shafted and missed it.
No,
he
scored.
scored.
He scored.
Yeah.
But it was honestly, it was in that role he was playing. It was like the example of the perfect way to deal with pressure when you've got your back to the rest of the pitch. It was just like fucking hell, man.
It's the
What did
same
I don't
pass
even know
he
what just
got
did
it.
there.
Kovacic did the same thing, pass to Lukaku in Juventus game, and he missed it.
I mean, that's Lukaku, man.
Literally Lukaku. But yeah, no, I'm surprised. I didn't
By the way,
remember you guys went for Kova. I remember
do you know why you won with Rodri? Because Rodri, oh man, not even question Rodri or what's his name?
Jorginho.
Jorginho, yeah. Not even.
Yeah, that's if you don't know, Alex despises Jorginho with all of his heart and soul.
And you love him. And you love him.
Do you think he would have fit your team? And you don't think that the lack of physicality with Jorginho?
Well, that's the thing.
Issue?
That's the thing. I think Pep recognized the physicality of DM required in Premier League more than anything else.
That's not the reason we didn't get Jorginho, though, is it? The
But do you think he would have worked?
because he went to United.
Because you still had Fernandinho. You still had Fernandinho. And
that's why
Jorginho
we gone for Phillips now, because you need the two.
Exactly.
I think Rodri, like, we got. I'll be honest. I can be honest. The good thing is when your team's winning, you can be honest about other players, other teams' players, and sometimes your players. When we first got Rodri, after his first season, I was like, I've not given up on him, but he needs a good, solid second season, because the first season was. And I said at the time, because his first season, Bernardo Silva wasn't playing much, and I said, if we're going to play a three of Gundogan, Rodri, then the third person has to be Bernardo Silva, because they need his energy. Without that, we ain't got no energy. We need Bernardo Silva's legs and to carry the ball forward. But with Rodri, there was an interesting interview with him towards the end of the season where he said, they asked him what his role was. And he said, basically, I have two roles. My role is either to, when we're trying to create something and we're down the left and we're getting nothing, I have to recycle the ball and as quickly as possible get it to the right and find a different opportunity. He said, but that one's easy. The harder one is the same thing, but with facing my goal where the ball's just come out from defenders. I've got a couple of players on me. And he said, first season, I didn't realise I have no time. And I used to like try and do a pivot. And by the time I've gone like 30 degrees, two men have come in and taken the ball. He said, my job is to literally turn in seconds and know where someone is to fizz the ball off to him. And he's just perfect for it. He's unbelievable. He was our best player last season. Hands down. And I think he's played like 170 games in 3 seasons.
And that's
ridiculous.
My point. That's my point with Pep. Pep had to adapt to English Premier League. He had to adapt. The players that he had in the beginning was not the ones he constantly get bullied on a counterattack, and that was annoying on him.
Oh fuck me, yeah. God damn.
So for him, it was like, why are we getting bullied so far? First of all, as a defender, you always get beat. It's always harder to defend when you have full speed of wingers, usually counter-attacking team by a quick wingers against you and physical forwards, especially in England. So as a defender, you already have a disadvantage because by running at you with full speed. Second of all, if you don't have a defensive midfielder that have awareness not to bump forward without looking backwards and not expose your back line, you will lose. And that's why Jorginho is a fraud, because
you know, when I came to the game last year, the Villa game,
that's how you lost the freaking Championship League final.
Oh, well, there was so many. You're right. The first couple of years, we've got better at it. But last season, when I came to the game, I saw someone doing exactly what Rodri used to do in the first season at City, and Chelsea fans were getting frustrated. And I was going, no. Give him time, because I've seen it from a player that came from the same club. Sal was doing the same thing. Every time he got the ball, he was taking way too long to decide what. And it's because the Premier League, you don't get that time to turn, look up, and see what's there. Literally, people are pressing you as quickly as possible to get the ball. And I don't know. I'm not saying Sal might work. Has he gone back now? I presume he has.
Gone back.
Yeah. He's gone back.
Did he go back before the season ended?
No,
he went.
I don't even know. He just disappeared after March.
Yeah, I think it was in May. I actually think it was in May.
Yeah, end of June. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll always have that moment against Luton Town, though. Pick up yourself.
No, I mean you can see, and he's actually the reason you can see that. For me, midfield is the one that's gonna benefit forward, and midfield is the one that's gonna benefit defense. If you build the proper midfield, both sections can be improved. If you have a really, really good midfield, you can improve forward line. If you have a really good midfield, you can improve defense line, no matter how it is, because midfield is the most important thing. In that midfield, for the defensive position, is always been defensive midfield. To improve defense, you can have average defense. But if you have a really good defensive midfield, that average defense becomes world class.
Bro,
Same
listen,
thing
it's
with
the best
forward.
position on the pitch. I've said it from
most
day one.
important for me. For me, is the most important on the pitch is defensive mid.
Oh,
That's
bro,
who you build the team around.
Hands down. And a prime example. I need to go in a second because I've got another stream. But one of my favorite.
No worries, we're gonna go to 3 and then run it.
One of my favorite City players was Nigel De Jong because of breaking up play. But I always say this when people talk up Yaya Toure, I'm always like,
what a legend.
I agreed. And what I say now might seem slander, but then I go and watch what he did, and he won us trophies. But if it wasn't for De Jong, Barry, Fernandinho, Yaya's tracking back and staying with runners was absolute dog shit.
But
some of the
kind of similar with Kovacic.
No, but you'd watch him. But what would happen is, you'd watch.
But De Jong was the defensive mid.
Precisely, and that's why I have to give them respect, because it was without them you can't free him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to. And you know what, Pogba, you could say, if
Same-
Pogba was
same-
alongside
same
Kante
thing.
or who was it?
At Juve,
Jorginho.
Marquisio, Vidal with Pogba.
No, well,
Is that right?
and also my guy next, Pirlo as well. Like
Pirlo.
if he didn't have these men round him, you wouldn't have seen the Pogba that we saw. It's the players round him. But last question, I'm going to ask you. There's 2, 4, 6 of you. Mason Mount, yes or no?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes or no? What?
He's our best attacker and he's a midfielder.
Mason Mount, yes or no? Why? Sell it or keep it, or what?
Yeah. Like or
So,
no?
I guess do we rate him, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I don't rate him as much as some people with binoculars outside.
We haven't spoke yet.
Let's have it right.
Yeah, no.
No.
Mason Mount to me, I think absolute baller. And once you play him in an 8, you'll see him shine even more. But as a 10, definite holes to his game still. But
that's not how I rate the youngsters. I rate the youngsters a little bit differently. I want them to progress in specific areas each season. And Mason Mount did it so far. I don't think he's an end product. That's it.
No, agreed. But I struggle because I rate Mount highly. I think Mount in certain times.
He's the guy that plays everywhere. He's a favorite player for any coach. He's a favorite player for any coach because he can put them anywhere.
Passing's decent. People act like he's terrible.
Progression's insane. His ball progression's absolutely insane for me.
Yeah, that's why him in the 8 was like the best Mount I've seen is still the Mount under Lampard when he played.
The pass pass in Championship League. That's what Mount is best at.
For me, I still want to see Foden, Mount, Rice for England.
Ooh. Oh, for England. Okay, cool.
Oh,
yeah,
that seems very.
Calm down.
It's very
England,
balanced.
Yeah, pick up Foden. I'd take him, but
balanced.
this Rice stuff
Once
needs to die until his price tag goes down.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, bro. Listen,
let me ask you about the Foden.
His friendship with Mount put an extra 50 million on his price tag instantly.
Yeah, and to me, it's like that needs to go with another 30 million on top as well before I even consider this deal.
But here's the thing. I think if you go to West Ham, kind of late August, and offer them 80 million, listen, they're a selling club, bro.
Even 80 million.
You lot need to just.
80 million, especially when he's going to leave anyway. You might as well let the contract run down.
What you have to do is everything to do with Chelsea Football Club needs to lock all ties with Declan Rice, because as long as there's that, West Ham honestly believe they can put this crazy premium, because sooner or later Chelsea are going to come in and give us what we want. As long as that's there, you lot need to, I don't know, get another DM or something so that literally they think, yeah, we know. Because until then, it's like, let's be real, he is a fucking DM, 150 million. What? It better be
and
a DM that can score
West
40
Ham
goals
use
a
him
season.
more as a box-to-box mid now, not even as an actual
Yeah,
DM. And even then, he'll have to adapt to a new system when he joins us too.
Another thing, like with Mount, Rice had the same thing. He's a young player that progresses each year with the specific things. One year he was really good at DM. Next year he was really good at progressing and stuff like that. As long as I see the progression is his as a player, I can see it. That's it. I just want to see every year he does something better. The ones that he's not used to be good at. and he does. That's the only reason. But my question to you as a City fan, that Foden, how do I put this question correctly? Do you think Pep is, how you say it, putting too much hold on his talent?
No.
Suppressing?
No.
And another one, do you think he's one of those bad boys that eventually can ruin his career because of it?
There's more substance to that second one than there was the first one. I think this is hard because I don't... You know, when you do content creation, you don't want to say stuff because you think, people are going to say you're slandering your club or something, yeah? Firstly, with Foden, it took me a long time to... even though I was liking what I saw, it took me a long time to truly believe because in my lifetime, the amount of Man United youngers that they've overhyped and believed in and have fell off after 5 games, I was like, not on it. Until I see him consistently doing it, I'm not rating him as highly. Or even though he's come up through England, doing everything at England, I need to see it. I do think he's unbelievable. I think Pep's managed him perfectly because now we're seeing the way it is. And I think Pep has probably helped to control what you just spoke about. Because I think Pep
there
won't
is
allow
something
that.
there.
I think Pep, even this season, bringing Grealish in was probably because at the end of the season, before we signed Grealish, Pep actually did an interview and said it's been easy to manage him so far because
nobody
he's younger and he's got Silva here and he's got this person here, so he understands. But now he's just had a very good season, got Young Player of the Year award. Now he's knocking on my door.
He shouldn't have won.
Oh, not this year. Bro, he had you know what? He had a good season. If you compare him...
Saka. Even I hate Arsenal, but Saka should have won.
Or Gallagher. Foden had an average season for me. But there is substance in that. I think there's look, let's be 100. However much we now know that he is a scumbag, at the time we didn't. And Greenwood took the slack for Foden, right? Foden had a girlfriend and a child, yeah. Greenwood was single, right? And it was Greenwood that got it from the media, not Foden. And at that point, I think Foden's people said you need to cut your ties with Greenwood and probably now, thank God he did, yeah, because what's come out. But
what about Grealish coming in as another naughty boy, and those two are now? Aren't they already got in trouble?
Well, wait till they get hold of Haaland, bro. Haaland's an English boy that's been living abroad. He's going to be back in Manchester with Grealish and Foden.
And there is something about the City players and the girls getting in trouble, man. With their left back.
I'm telling you, yeah. Well, fuck that guy. But honestly, we've even seen Haaland in clubs, in tracksuits and that already in Germany. I'm telling you, we're going to see pictures of him out with Grealish 100%. And the bad thing is the media will portray it in a good way for some weird reason. But anyway, listen, I need to go because I've got to jump on.
No worries, bro. We're going to wrap up anyway. Check out Never a
Love
Foul.
coming on, man.
Hey, big up.
Love to all of you
jumping on.
Bless.
Take care, my guy. Yeah, guys, we are going to wrap up anyway. I was waiting till 5 to see
talk, to be fair. There's a really good talk.
Yeah, Daps is quality. Guys, if you haven't seen enough of him, Never a Foul is in the description below, so check it out, people. But we are going to wrap up here. I was hoping we would see, what's his name, Koulibaly get announced midstream, but we didn't get that.
That'll be tomorrow, bro. That'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's stream. So check it out. Same time, same place, all of that, you already know. But big up everyone. Like and subscribe. We'll leave you with who should be our next target. Take both of them. Take care. Like and subscribe.
This is never going away.
Who's the guy at the back?
I love
Can
it.
we get the guy at the very back?
Go, man.
Who? Tammy? Do you want to set off Go AM again?
Nah, the Bayern player at the back.
Who's that guy? The one that tackled
Is that like Tolisso? Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but guys, we're out.
Christine, is it?
Respect our legends.